Okay, Knicks Nation. Welcome. Tough way to go out. You know, good first year with the crew together for a first run, but we'll break it all down, man. I got some mixed emotions, man. There's a lot of mixed emotions. I'm sure you all have some mixed emotion as well, as I can see through the chat, but let's get it started. Knicks come into this one after winning Game 5 against the Indiana Pacers, looking to win Game 6 to extend this to a 7-game series to give them a chance on home court. Coming into this one, though, in the start of it, you could feel like this was going to be a rock fight. Both teams were keeping up with each other, throwing jabs after jabs, just trying to stay in this competition. But then things started to unfold in the third quarter. And there was kind of a little bit of showing early on, man, in the first quarter, where we're letting guys get open threes, not getting back out in transition defense as well, but we were hanging. We were only down by 4 at the half. And then all the issues that we've seen with this team, whether it's not being able to guard the three, not playing good defense at all, especially getting out in transition, all the bad things about this team, poor decision making, all of it came to roost in the second half, man. And unfortunately, the Knicks dug themselves too much of a hole in that fourth quarter, especially with everyone just knocking down threes. And then to make matters worse, you had Obi Toppin with the exclamation point and the block. And I guess he's not a dud pick because Rick Carl knows how to use him appropriately. So Indiana Pacers would win this one 125-108. Want to hear your thoughts? Want to know what you guys think about this game, this series? How are you all feeling after year one of this iteration of this roster is in the books? Do you want to see changes? What changes do you want to see? We want to get all those answers from you guys here today. Make sure to download Discord or go through the web browser, whatever fits your fancy. Hit that thumbs up button for your boys. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. CK2K with me on the other side today. You already know what it is, man. I'm your host, Alex Harris. CP's en route to give his thoughts. All right, CK. I was tapped in, man. I was tapped into your play-by-play today. So I know where the moment changed for you, and of course I know where the moment changed for everybody, but I saw where looked like Cal's face right there, just depression, man. But look, there's like so many, there's a lot of thoughts, man. It's like it's a fresh cut right now. I'm trying to think as straight as possibly. Yeah. But there's a lot running through my mind, man. I just do not. I'll start off with this. I hate losing to the Indiana Pacers. I hate losing to the Indiana Pacers. This is now 4 times that we've fallen to the Indiana Pacers when we're trying to take the next step. They are legitimately this team's boogeyman, and I family show hate it. It bothers the living daylights out of me. We already gone through the 25-year drought. Well, who was that team that stopped us getting to the NBA Finals? It was the Pacers that year. We already know what they did with Melo. We already know what they did last season. And now it's this year too. I'm getting sick of it, man. I'm sick of seeing the Indiana Pacers just stop us from trying to achieve greatness. Obviously, we got to go out there and play our best basketball in order to win, which we clearly did not do today. But I'm just going to start off with that, man. I hate losing to the Indiana Pacers. This loss bothers me. We're going to break down the entire season, how it all looks, but nothing bothers me more than losing to the Indiana Pacers.
Yeah. It's like you said at the top. It's like just trying to mentally put everything together into thoughts that I can say on this show without getting too crazy and jump out the window. You know, that's what the chat's for. We love you guys for it. Yeah, it's just that stinging feeling of losing to the Pacers again, adding another chapter to this dreadful, dreadful book that no Knicks fan probably would ever want to read, and that's the book versus the Pacers in the playoffs. I think the biggest thing in this loss is just I hate that we left food on the table.
A lot of food.
I said at the top of the play-by-play, if this comes down to us losing and getting eliminated today, but I know that we fought and did everything we could in this game, then so be it. This season was already all over the place, but in good ways, but also there was a lot of negative. And I feel like, unfortunately, in an elimination game, those negatives outshined a lot of everything else that we should have been excited about. Like you said, we're gonna break it all down. But you know, you just look at the stat sheet. And I don't even want to look at it. You know, seeing what JB did in this elimination game. Towns, thank God for him in the second half, but still too little, too late for me. Looking at these damn turnovers, our free throw percentage don't look like a real life free throw percentage in an elimination game. Um, yeah, just to go out like this and have to simmer in this while we watch the team that beat us once again in the playoffs go and celebrate and have a good time and get whooped in the NBA finals. It's gonna be tough. I'm gonna be real, Alex. I don't know if I'm turning on my TV for these finals. I might check in maybe game 3, but I got no thought in my brain to watch or think about basketball anytime soon, especially with this team being included, bro.
I hear you,
But
man. Things
yeah,
may change though. Things may change for
okay.
you. You know, the series they don't start the NBA finals until Thursday, so there's some time for this wound to heal a little bit, but I totally feel you.
I'm doing something Thursday, Alex. Don't ask what. No, I haven't answered yet, but I'm busy on Thursday.
I don't know what the plans are, but I'm making plans. All right.
Yeah, I'm busy.
There's going
I'm
to be
busy.
plans, is what CK's telling me on Thursday. He
I'm
doesn't care
busy.
what it is.
I'm
Could
busy
be like
at
a
8 p.m.
5-hour shopping
EST.
spree with the missus. And CK's like, you know what?
Yeah, bro.
I'll be doing that.
It could be me staring at a wall. Busy.
Watch it paint dry.
I got things to do.
Look, man, I think the one thing that sticks out, if we're gonna let's just start with this game, man, and just talk about why we're here. And as you said, there was too much food left on the table. Part of that, turnovers, and just dumb turnovers. Absolutely infuriating turnovers. It was like it just felt like we were rushing to get to a means where we didn't even know what the means was. It was like, all right, let's just make this pass. And I'm like, why are we making this pass? Why are we jump passing? Why are we trying to thread the needle where we know that this Pacers team has shown throughout this series they are capable of just deflecting because they have the wingspan to do that at all positions, 1 through 5. Everybody's got the wingspan to, disrupt some passes. And I felt like we constantly tried to thread the needle, or we tried to make passes that weren't even there, or even better yet, that shouldn't even be made.
Last part.
What are we doing, man?
Yeah.
Why are we making passes that aren't even there? That is like the biggest thing to me in this game. When I'm looking at the turnovers, 17 turnovers, 17 CK, 17 turnovers. We're not even going to wait for, breaking this thing down for key stats of the night. We're getting right into this because this is just an abomination by the New York Knicks to even allow 17 turnovers in one game. All right? 17 turnovers. And here we go. That's 17 by NBA. 18, according to ESPN. 18 of our turnovers, get this, translated to 34 conceded points. 34. Like, how do you... I get that turnovers are going to happen in this game. And this is a compounding issue as well, because it's not just that you're making turnovers. Then you're not getting out in transition to stop the turnovers that you made. Like, and it's just dumb stuff, man, where it's like you're complaining, like players are complaining, players are waiting. There's like a lack of like awareness. There's a lack of urgency. You know this team wants to get out there and run. Your life is like, this is a do or die game for you to get yourself back to New York. And you're just chilling. Just watching everybody like run up and down the court, just be like, easy layup, easy layup. Siaka gets an easy layup. Obi gets an easy layup. Nebhard gets an easy layup. Oh, there goes another 3. And this is not coaching, and we can get to the coach later. This is to the players not executing and just doing dumb-ish. Everybody. There's no one who is missing from doing dumb-ish today, okay? We go down, it is Mikal Bridges with 5 turnovers. You got Karl-Anthony Towns with 4 turnovers. All right? Josh Hart, 3. What's going on, man? 3 turnovers for Josh Hart. Like you're just shooting yourself in the foot. When all those guys were, it's like I had no idea what they saw on the court to say, hey, let's make that pass. Just no idea for any of the passes that they made tonight. Absolutely. That is number one to me. We could talk about the lack of defense. I don't know why Karl-Anthony Towns isn't drop coverage. That has never worked against a team that can shoot threes.
That's cat. That's cat. That's cat. That's why I had to like. Well, that's cat. That's him. You know what I mean? Even Brunson, who's not a great defender, at least in the first half, he was even at least stepping up on those pick and rolls and helping off those screens. Cat don't do that. He gonna stay on the drop no matter what. People saying it's because of his knee. That's cat.
Yeah.
What do we do about that? We'll find out.
My apologies. By the way, my apologies. I'm looking at personal fouls before. Cat only had 2 turnovers. My apologies. Brunson was the one with 5 turnovers. I was like, wait, I know Brunson had more than that. I was like, Brunson had 5.
The Nova boys were throwing that ball around the court.
Nova boys were making all the poor passes.
Yeah.
I'm so heated I can't even read these numbers right, man. But yeah, it is Karl-Anthony Towns that's like doing the drop. That's like hedging back where it's like we should be at the level. This is a good 3-point shooting team. These guys are coming in hot. They shot 52% tonight from downtown. And this is not an anomaly. These guys just shoot the ball well. And so the issue that we saw in game 1 against the Boston Celtics came up and reared its ugly head again in a critical game where we couldn't close out against threes, man. Just infuriating, bro. Just absolutely infuriating.
I'm just looking at the minutes and just, like I said, we left food on the table. We're gonna go through everything, but I'm looking at Deuce playing 11 minutes. Why was Deuce only at 11 minutes, man? Deuce is at 11 minutes. Shamit at 15. Make that make sense, man. Make that make sense.
The bench legitimately has brought us back in games. We saw them help. We saw them help win game. Like we saw them help win game 3.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Like I'm not going crazy, right? We saw DeLon, right? We saw Shamit help win in game 3. We saw the defensive pressure they were putting on the Pacers back in New York 2 days ago.
Yeah.
But we're gonna ride, with
Josh Hart.
I know he got 22 minutes, but like
that's only because of how the game ended. Thibs would have loved to keep him on the floor the entire fourth quarter. I don't know what happened, bro. I feel like we watched this guy. I don't know if he's in his own head. I don't know what's going on with Josh Hart in these 3 critical games. I'm saying 3. Like I don't know if the benching, like he's acting like it wasn't a big deal. I don't know. But since the benching, it's like the problems that we had before only doubled. And then this is where the issue I have with Tom Thibodeau. Oh, well, let's just keep riding with them. This man, Josh Hart, in a fast break off of a phenomenal steal from Deuce McBride, couldn't decide whether he wanted to shoot, floater, or throw an alley-oop, so he did all 3 of them and turned it over in the third quarter. In an elimination game, Alex. I just don't understand like why it was so hard for this team to lock in, and 22 minutes of that nonsense, but Deuce can only get 12 minutes. But we're supposed to talk about the coach can't play on the court. I'm done with hearing that. I don't want to hear anymore. I don't want to hear anymore, man. I don't understand how we do not fix the things that can be fixed. The play and the sloppy play, the turn, we were right. So how do you fix that? You make the rotational changes. You see the mistake happening several times. So what do? That's like when one of my kids draws on a wall and instead of moving him from the wall that he continues drawing, I just say, don't do that. But I let him stay right there and I let him keep the pen in his hand. You think you think he gonna stop drawing on the wall? You gotta make a change. Take the pen out of his hand. Move him away from the wall. Take the man off the court when he's making the mistakes. Sit on him, hold him accountable, bring him back out later on. I'm not saying, I know there's people saying take Hart out of the rotation. No, why are we sitting and watching and letting him put himself in that hole? Help Hart out. Take him out. Talk to him. Yo, stupid pass. Yo, shoot the rock. Yo, you're in a fast break. Do something with it. Then bring him back out. But Thibs just keeps him out there and just like, he'll figure it out. He's gonna get it. It's gonna work. Just give it some time. And I feel like we did it for 3 games straight, and it's too little, too late in this one. I just so many. But that's just one of the many boneheaded issues. But yeah, Josh Hart, I feel like man, I love that guy. We all love him. Hustle Hart, all the memes and things. He says the funny things in the story. But nah, man.
You know who's another one that had a lot of minutes that shouldn't have had a lot of minutes today? Karl-Anthony Towns.
Don't get me started about him either. I don't want to hear about no 24 points. Go ahead, Alex.
Yeah, no, 22 points tonight. Yeah, I know he had a double-double, and this is where stats are misleading. 22 for 14. He went 8 and 19 from the field. This man struggled. Not only offensively, defensively, this man was in a blender all night long. He had no idea where he needed to be defensively, allowed Halliburton to get to his spots, allowed anybody to get to his spots, honestly. It didn't even matter who it was. Siakam was getting to his spots, making light work of everybody. And my thing is, and this is where it goes to the coach. I know you need your guys to win, but at what point is leaving him out there damaging the team and him? Because there's no way that you're going to tell me, oh, yeah, let me leave him out there for 38 minutes. He'll figure it out. And by the third quarter, where you're seeing that things are going south, it's like, wait a minute. Let's get this guy out of here. Let's bring in Deuce McBride. That's what I would have done. Let's go with the lineup that's actually been helpful. You get 4 guys who could defend at a high level, and you get 4 shooters. That's the perfect blend that you need. 4 defenders, 4 shooters. And you got the defender at the primary position that constantly gets killed. And you get rebounding. And you get second chance opportunities. That's Mitchell Robinson. I just don't get it, man. I don't know why you leave a guy out there to struggle all night long and he didn't make an impact at all. At all. 0. None. There was nothing that he was doing on the court that was being helpful today.
At all. Don't worry, Thibs is still saving.
And it goes to both those guys. This man is going to get paid $60 million by the end of his contract. And yeah. I know that it's year 1, but this man was just in a Western Conference Finals. This goes to him and the coach. He was just in a Western Conference Finals, by the way, where he also ished the bed. You got to come up big, man. You got to come up big. You got to read you got to read the court. You know your game. You know where you thrive. Why are you now doing stuff that doesn't make sense? There was a mid-range that he took it seemed like it was like a little step back mid-range. I think early on.
Oh my God, yeah.
I was like, that's not your shot, man. I was like, that is not your shot whatsoever.
Yeah, that was following after he missed 1 or 2 buckets, and that's the shot he came up with. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, a lot of boneheaded stuff from him, man.
Dude, this man's gonna be getting paid $60 million by the end of his contract, and you're getting paid like you're not getting paid like a star. You're getting paid like a superstar. All right, let's keep that a bean.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be making that money, I'm gonna need a lot better. Brunson's got to perform better today too.
Yeah, we're gonna get to him.
We're gonna get to him, but Karl-Anthony Towns, you got to perform better. Tom Thibodeau, your guy's struggling. Don't keep him out on the court at the critical position that you need. The 5. He's not giving anything offensively. Why? If he's not going to give you anything offensively, then he's not going to give you anything at all. 0. He's not going to turn into this defensive guru. It's 10 years in the league. We already know what he is. Get him off the court. Another frustration. this game unfolded from the first half where it was like, we are in this game and we are making mistakes. But if we could clean this all up, this is a game that we can have and push this thing to 7. And and the third quarter of doom comes around, bro. It's a lot for me to process right now because there's just so many different points of like what you could pick at today, and it's like I said earlier, it's just everything decided to rear its ugly head.
Yep.
Everything.
Yep.
This is if you want to talk about a catastrophic fumble of a prime opportunity, here it is.
Before we move on the cat thing, my irritation, because I agree with everything you said. My irritation this entire time, I don't know how else to stress it. What are we saving Mitchell Robinson for? There's no way I'm looking at this and Mitchell Robinson should play 30 minutes. To your point exactly with the whole Towns thing. Take him out. Like you're not helping him. Like it's the same thing we just said about Hart. You're not helping him by keeping him out there. Bruh, when he missed 3 of his 4 free throws in the fourth quarter, I'm thinking to myself, what are we saving Mitch for? Mitch, if we want to talk about anybody that did not play terrible, Mitch, outside of maybe that 1 or 2 turnover that wasn't even his fault, Mitchell Robinson was damn near as perfect as Mitchell Robinson can be. Bro had all his rebounds on the offensive side of things in this game. And on top of that, he was moving defensively. He gave us the pressure we needed. But then Tom Thibodeau is like you said perfectly, like we talked about with Hart, he's just hoping and praying that Towns is going to just change and do something and figure something out. And then you're putting the bench out there with Towns, and the Pacers figured that out. So they're throwing defense at him and they're throwing the right. It got so bad that they were comfortably putting Obi Toppin on him. They comfortably put Obi Toppin. Say what you want about him offensively tonight. Obi Toppin did exactly what an ex-girlfriend should do when you're playing against your ex and you're trying to show out. He did everything he's supposed to do, dunking all fancy, looking cute, making his shots. Good for you. But defensively, Obi Toppin is still Obi Toppin. And he was and Carlisle was so comfortable that you had Obi on Towns one-on-one in some of those situations when Turner was sitting on the bench. And we just there, saving Mitchell Robinson because we're gonna need him for Game 7, right? We're gonna need Mitchell, we just gotta save Mitchell Robinson. You gotta keep him healthy for for the playoffs. Like I don't understand what we were doing on saving Mitchell Robinson throughout this, and like what for? This is it.
Bro, I tweeted out that we needed Mitchell Robinson like in the fourth quarter. I'm like, we should add him in here early. And then it's like we kept Cat in too long. And I'm like, all right, man. Now you just let go of the rope. It's like it was 8 points. We got down to 8 points. And I'm like, I was like, yo, bring him in.
That's it.
We need stops. And then it's like, oh no, let's get to 13. I'm like, all right, man. Now you gave him 13 points. Now we're just wash it. It's a wash, man. Absolute wash. Absolute wash. I feel like I'm all over the place, man. I just like so frustrated by this.
Yeah,
Swaz really has me frustrated all over the place, man.
Yeah, yep. I can go on and on, but no, we gotta bring this back together. Okay, NY, I'm so sorry. I don't want to respond to Champ. But NYK bro said, "Wake up, CK. He was playing on one leg." That proves our point even more. If that doesn't prove our point even more, I don't know what else you want us to say.
Pull him.
We're literally talking about we're trying to save Cat from himself. That's literally what we're both saying. So now if you want to throw that knee argument in, that only proves the point even more. It's not like he was out there cooking and fighting. He was 8 of 19 and missing free throws on top of that. So at the very least, you bring him out, you put Mitch out there, and we got to stop the bleeding while we're finding our offense. Not having defense on top of not being able to score too.
Oh, man. Wait, what happened?
They can hear us, but they can't see us. Zoom got mad. I'm sorry, Zoom.
They can hear us. All right, hold on. We got to rejoin again. Go back to the link. Hold up. Hold up. Man. All right, we're going to get to some of your calls in a second. Give us a minute. We'll get to some of your calls in a second. We're just sitting back up here. A little technical difficulty on our side as we're just looking at Karl-Anthony Towns right here. CK, you got the link?
New one?
No, same one. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, we should be back up. All right. Salute to Knicks Nation. Thank you all for tuning for another KFTV post-game live. With me on the other side is my guy CK2K. I'm your host, Alex Chateros. CP's en route to give us his thoughts. Hit that thumbs up button for your boy. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. We're airing out our grievances right now, all right? Maybe a little unorganized, raw emotion today. Upset, bothered, all right? Like I said, I hate losing to the Indiana Pacers. Yeah, that's right, Barbara Carol. Cat did break the internet. We were so frustrated that Cat broke the internet. But let's get to some of the calls, man. Let's get to some of the calls. I want to hear what some of the fans have to say. Let's see. Who should we start with first? Let's go with the King Matthews. King Matthews, you're kicking it off tonight. How are you feeling?
Not so great, man. First half looking good. Second half, what in tarnation, man? Turnovers, man. And who thought Thomas Bryant hitting those clutch threes for the Pacers, man? Man.
Yeah, he's hitting
don't
threes.
know.
He's hitting threes. Our all-star center can't hit threes today.
He like went 0 for 4. Blasphemous, man. Crazy. And man, like Cat, man, look, a good offensive player, but in this offseason, man, we really need to think about Cat, man. Defensively, man. I don't know how many times we're gonna do the draw coverage with him. Even the one thing, like when Halliburton was open for 3, you didn't even dare to guard. You just look at him. You dared him to shoot. You can't do that, man. Your life is on the line. You can't do that. And then Josh Hart, man. Look, man. I think we could all agree this series was just not Josh Hart at all. This is just not his game. After game 1, he wasn't the same. Wasn't the same at all, man. Deuce with 11 minutes. Why are we still doing that? Why? And Tom Thibodeau, man, he's just not that coach, man. He's just not that coach. We could even go all the Eastern Conference Finals all we want, man. I just don't see winning a chip with this coach because he still does the same thing. Unless he's gonna change, I don't see anything happen for this team. This team could be all the greatest out there, man. But with this coach, I don't see it. We have Maurice Cheeks. What was the point of hiring him if he's not going to do anything for Thibs?
Facts.
I need Johnny O'Brien to at least have some offense, could tell Thibs what to do, but you know Thibs got no offense. So it is what it is, man. But we could all agree, ain't nobody watching the Pacers and OKC finals. We could all agree on that. Y'all stay safe, be blessed, and stay safe, man. Yeah.
Appreciate the call, King Matthews. Let's get to Mid-Show Motivator. Mid-Show Motivator, how you feeling?
Man, y'all can hear me?
We can hear you, man. We can hear the sadness in your voice. What's going on?
All right. So I'll try to make this as quick as possible. First off, Tom Thibodeau, man, listen. I want to say he can be better if he just gets out of his own way. He just has a track record that just follows him, and he just continues to prove it every year, no matter what team he's with. Does the same things over and over. Yeah, I was gonna get on here and say maybe if he had an offensive coordinator that would make things better, because I seen at one point in the series where you had Rick was it Rick Carlisle? I hope I'm
Mhm.
not getting it wrong.
No, you're
You
right.
had him literally during the timeout. He was sitting there quiet while his offensive coordinator was telling the team what to do. He wasn't sitting there drawing up a play. He was watching the offensive coordinator tell the team what they're going to run the next play, and they wind up scoring. But I digress. I'll get off of Tom Thibodeau. Everybody knows what they feel about him. Let's get to the big meow. I call him the big meow because he has the IQ of a kitten. My man does not know how to play defense. He does not know how to stay out of foul trouble. I'll apologize later. I left the super chat. Listen, I'll apologize for it later. The man is he's a kitten. He's a kitten. His offense does not cover for the lack of IQ that he shows on the court offensively and defensively. What are you hooking Halliburton's
Bro.
arm for when you're driving to the paint? This man is 100 pounds soaking wet, and you gotta hook his arm for what? For what?
And Siakam. He was hooking Siakam's arm tonight too, man. I was so aggravated by that.
You could get by Miles Turner with no problem. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. It does not make no sense to me at all. And like King Matthew said, Josh Hart was gone after the first game, and I think it just made it even worse once he got put on the bench. But this series was not his, and he was just completely out of it. And I could tell by the time they came out of the locker room from halftime that they were defeated. They had them playing their game, and it's like they went to the back, got some McDonald's, and came out and said, yeah, I had too much to eat. I can't do this no more. We're going to just let them go ahead and take this. It's a tale of two halves. I'm stunned. I'm stunned. I would have rather, I don't even know what to say, man. Yeah, listen. Giannis is coming. Go ahead, get Big Meow out of here, get Mikal Bridges out of here, and get Precious Achua, bless you, up out of here. I'm done, man. You have a good night.
Mid-show motivator. All right, man. Mid-show motivator coming through with the chopper today. He said, get Cat, get Precious, get Bridges out of here. Get the big acquisitions that we just made last season out of here. I didn't see enough. What do you guys think of that call, man? Rate that call in the chat. 5 being facts, 1 being trash. Let me know what you thought about mid-show motivator's call, man. Mid-show motivator coming through with the heat right off the rip. A lot, man. A lot was said. Let's keep it rolling, though. Let's get another call in before we start breaking some of this stuff down. Let's go to Matt Coco. Matt Coco, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, we hear you, man. This is your show. How you feeling?
Can't say I'm feeling amazing, man, but definitely, I think to start the season, I don't know about you guys, but I didn't think this was a championship team. It was a team we thought was going to compete. Did we think it was fully ready and fully assembled? Most of us probably didn't, and that includes me. But we put our hopes up. We got our hopes up. But this was a great window for us. And it's a sad day right now, but we got to be happy about a good season. All that aside, a couple things about Thibs. I think we can't put all the hate on him for this loss. The turnovers are not his fault. Turnovers are a huge, huge piece of this. And I don't know what a coach is supposed to do to make players not turn the ball over as stupidly as we were doing. Maybe it's a problem with strategy and execution, not practicing the crispness of passes, allowing them to just like bully us around and not really set up an offense. And again, just not like Brunson was just struggling so hard to get like, what do you think the Pacers adjustments? My question to you guys initially is like, what do you think the Pacers did to really adjust from, game 5 to game 6? Like, and how were they able to just hold Brunson? It felt like Brunson was like in a clamp the whole time, and like nothing really changed from any of the games that I could see.
The biggest thing that they did is that as soon as you crossed half court, you had Nebhard who was playing very physical, making sure they was in his space. 94 feet for the most part. And then as soon as he crossed half court, they brought somebody else over to try to trap him. So that way he'd have to make a difficult pass, get the ball out of his hand, and then try to enforce him to have to look for a spot to get going again, man. Pacers did a really good job just like forcing the ball out of Brunson's hand today. And that's really what it came down to. And I think Brunson didn't want to force a lot of things because of the turnovers. And when he did force stuff, turnovers were coming. But that's what I saw. What did you see, CK?
No, 100%. I felt like I said in play-by-play. I'm gonna stop saying that, but I felt like they did a great job at, especially in that second half. First half, I felt like they were doing it a little bit, and then they would back off immediately. Like they would throw that second guy on them, and then they would go back to their spot. But the second half, because of the turnovers, because we were in, trying to get back in the game mode, I think that you saw the physicality step up. And then on top of them bringing the second defender, then they also got the third defender from whoever, if it's Mitch or Mikal Bridges coming up trying to set that screen to free him. You had that third defender there, and sometimes your Jalen's not even using the screen, so it just became too crowded, and they just out physicaled us, and they hedged their bets on that to try and keep us at the half court line. And what I got to give credit for them is like, even if we got out of that and, Brunson's able to get out of that, you saw how quickly the Pacers then recovered defensively. And that's what was different from game 5 and game 6. Cause I feel like we took advantage of a lot of that to force them to not, go all in on the half court double teaming. Today, they just, second half especially. First half I thought we did okay, but second half especially, they just they stayed pound on it, and we had no answer for it at all.
Yeah, but also, why are we waiting? Why are we putting it all on Mikal to be picking up Tyrese? Like, why is there not like a little bit more help before half court? Not even like a glimpse of a full court press and what that would look like to this team to slow them down, because they're getting all these easy transition layups. And like, I've never seen a team. I mean, the most impressive part of the Pacers, and I don't want to give them any praise, but like, they can start their offense in 3 seconds. They're across the half court in 3 seconds. We're consistently across half court in 16 seconds. And yes, I know the Pacers defense does that to us, but like, why not throw a couple different coverages, a different mix? Like, try a full court press for a quarter. Like, what are we? This is where I think everyone is struggling with Thibs. Is like, where's the inventiveness? Where is the strategy?
Too creative. That's too creative. Yeah, that's too creative for Thibs. That's the problem. You're right.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate the call, Matt Coco. Appreciate the call.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
No, yeah, he's dead on. No, that's 100%. Like, that's the stuff we cannot answer, because that is a Tom Thibodeau question. Because I feel like we've been saying this all year long, and that's on the defensive end, which you would expect would be Tom Thibodeau's MO, to be able to make those kind of adjustments and have those backup plans to make those kind of changes defensively. But he plays it safe. The biggest change he made, Alex, and we celebrated it here, was he went away from drop coverages and we switched in that
That's so sad, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know what I mean? Like that. We don't have that answer. I don't know how to answer that.
But look at this. All right. And I understand we could talk about the turnovers. And here's the thing. When we saw 2 days ago what the Knicks were doing. They were pressuring Haliburton. They made sure to do the same thing. Knicks generated turnovers. Pacers turned the ball over more than the Knicks last game. Was that? But the only issue is that the Knicks weren't able to capitalize on all the turnovers that they had. Now they still did a good job because they were able to work the ball in the half court, slow it down. They worked to their favor. But when you start looking at like what they did, Pacers essentially did what we did to Haliburton in game 5, and they just put that on Brunson and dialed it up even more. And the answer that the Pacers said is like, oh, let's just go back to what we do. Haliburton, you get it, move it quick, just pass it up the court. Don't give him a chance to like get up in your grill and then say, hey, we're gonna make you slow the game down and just pound the living daylights out of the rock. Keep that ball flying around, because it's gonna find somebody and it's gonna get somebody open. The Knicks don't do that. The Knicks do not do that. And this is where, and everyone's talked about it, all 3 callers, right? All 3 callers brought up Tom Thibodeau. And look, man, shout out to Thibs, man, for bringing us to where we are today. It is no easy feat. But the lack of creativity, the lack of in-game adjustment, and you can't make many in-game adjustments if you don't implement a lot of creativity. Now, one can argue saying, hey, it's their first season together. They need another season so that way they can gel and that way you can add more of the playbook to what they got to do and all those things. Man, we've been watching this now for like the last 5 years.
Thank you.
And ain't nothing going to change in the next year. And so to me, like, you got to start looking for somebody who's going to want to do it. Like, you got to look for somebody who's going to have to start implementing this. What the Knicks do, obviously, is going to be a different decision, but I'm at the point where it's like we need a little bit more life into what we're watching here, because a lot of the stuff that we saw throughout all the series was not groundbreaking changes, in-game adjustments that was taking us to where we are today. A lot of it was a lot of late-game heroics. Like Mikal Bridges knocking down shots is not something that Thibs is drawing up saying, all right, Mikal, you're going to get going in the fourth quarter. We're going to get this one. Brunson, let me tell you something, man. You're gonna see a Sarah Thompson on you. You're going to go left, and then you're going to cut right, soon, quick, pull up for a three, and you're going to win the game. That's not what he's doing, man. Those are players that understand how to get to their spots and know what they want to do. That's what's happening on the court. That's freelancing. Yeah. We need more creativity offensively, defensively. Defensively, if the only thing we can do is say switch, look, even the Pacers threw a zone at us. And no one's saying you got to use a zone the entire game, but it's at least a different look.
That's all
to make the offense think.
To muck it up. Yep.
Same thing, man, when you're thinking about different actions. All right, what are we going to do, man, to get other players involved to give a different look? Got to give more. It's a game within the game. You got to keep guys on their toes. And unfortunately, this team is too much in a simplistic rhythm where it's like it's the same thing over and over. And while I understand you got to have the personnel in order to execute all these things, look, man, you also got to have, like, these series come along the margins. And the way with the CBA is going, we're not going to see a team like the Heatles again. We're not going to see that, okay? We're not going to see, like, three guys who could run their own team all join forces together just because of how contracts, just of how the CBA is going to limit off-season moves, in-season moves. It's just not going to happen. We're seeing that. Celtics are just thinking about how to dismantle this team this upcoming season. You know?
Their offseason is going to be crazy, too.
You got a lot of teams that are just trying to figure out how we're going to look, you had the Timberwolves. They had to say, we got to stay under the cap. They're thinking they're going to look, you got Naz Reid, Julius Randle, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who are all, free agents this season. Free agents, I put that in quotations for some of them because they, like Randle, he has an option to pick it up, but they got to make decisions because of what the CBA is doing, man. How are you going to construct a team in order for them to stay sustainable? Thunder have to think about that very soon when they got to pay Chet, Jalen Williams, and you got SGA on the books already.
Hey, but it's easy to think about that when you have a championship, so.
Yeah, and look, and with all that said, and by the way, did you know that Nickeil Alexander-Walker and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, do you know that they're cousins?
Yeah, man.
Did you know that?
I learned that because when they were playing for Team Canada, and then I'm like, oh, the Alexander, and then they did a whole thing on that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. I don't know if you heard it throughout the whole like playoff series between the Timberwolves and the Thunder. They were talking about it a lot. But like you got to think like since the way that teams are going to be constructed, just to get back on track, how teams are going to be constructed and not going to have these Heedle type rosters. A lot of stuff's going to come down to things around the margin, man. A lot of this stuff is going to come down to on the margins. How are you going to get your coaches to get the maximum volume out of all the players? And something that like I even look at this like we can even get to the bench. Like Campaign rode this entire season, and then next thing you know, Eastern Conference Finals. All right, man. After game 2, you out of here. DeLon Wright, Landry Shamet, you're all back in. After y'all, I didn't use you your first 2 rounds, but I need you now. Can you hold me a solid?
And I can't express enough. And it's not like they were just on the bench, just sitting and waiting for their opportunity. These guys had their moments where they played well, where they showed they should have been in the rotation. This wasn't just an out of the blue, great idea from Thibs. This is something that we all knew should have been the case. Shamet was playing his best ball down the stretch and then vanished when the playoffs started. When Brunson was out, DeLon Wright surprised a lot of people and played well, played like a veteran in that time. So it's like I don't. Those are the like you said, the creativity, the fact that we're celebrating easy, not the biggest changes, and we have to celebrate those things. Those are the reasons why we need. You got to look into possibly moving on from the coach. Do I think it's going to happen? That's a question for the offseason, because I do think that there's going to be powers that be. They're going to feel like enough was done for a certain somebody to keep his job. But yeah, even if he keeps it, things need to be changed. Things need to be changed, and we gotta. We talked about the heart thing. We talked about the cat thing with minutes. We got to use our roster. We've learned in 2 out of the 3 series. Hell no, all 3 of the series we played, that depth matters. Playing your team matters. Like, this is not the 2000s. This is not late 2000s, 2010s, where you play an 8-man rotation. Like, that does not work in today's NBA. You got to utilize your rotation. And that is like the bare minimum of the things that we need to adjust. And I'm not going to hold my breath that Tom Thibodeau is all of a sudden in year 8,000 is going to just be like, you know what? It's time for me to change. Like, I'm not going to bank on that. I'm not going to bank on that.
Look,
but like, and it's watch both these teams, OKC and Indiana, about to go 10 deep in the NBA Finals. So here we are playing 8 players for 82 games. Sorry, go ahead, Alex.
And it's not even necessarily the 8 players, right? It's like you just look around. You just look around the league and how. Like, it's not like you can even just look right across the court. You go get Obi Toppin, right? No one, when they were here, I think if you had a reasonable expectation for Obi, is that he could just be utilized while he was on this team to relieve Randall of some minutes, and he gave you a different look that Randall couldn't give you. And that's the reasonable take, right? And then you're like, and some are saying, hey, what can he offer? What can he do? Now you watch him out here, and not saying that he's going out there and killing, but how is it Rick Carlisle can figure out how to utilize this guy? And now Obi was in the ECF last year, giving some, giving minutes, and now he's going to NBA Finals this year, still being utilized. This is all what I'm saying about Thibs, man. Is that this is where the decisions are going to be made this offseason. I get that we could talk about how it was a successful season. They met the goal of getting to the Eastern Conference Finals. Not taking that away, man. We're not taking that away. All right. 100%. But even when teams make it to this destination, they got to think, all right, you got to do it's hard to just say, let's run it back again when you know that there's limited time with players that you have. Jalen Brunson is not going to be here forever, man. All right.
That same CBA you mentioned, that's the other thing too. That's that's gonna be knocking on our door here at any time.
He's not going to be here forever. Guys are not you just don't know, and so you got to take gambles. You got to take risks. How are you going to tweak the roster? No one's. I'm not even saying massive overhauls, right? Look, guys let coaches go and doing all that stuff. Look, they just let Mike Malone go. He won a championship. All right. They let Taylor Jacobs go. He didn't really win much, but he took that team. He was there for like a rebuild. And they did pretty good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that I think you need a fresh new voice. I think you need a whole fresh new perspective on how you utilize the assets that you have around you. And it can't just constantly be last minute saying, hey, you know what? We can do this. I respect his, man. He did a lot of great. I've been a guy who says, this is not the time to even think about that stuff. Like, we're still early in. It's 5 years now, man. If this and this is where I'm getting to. You're 5 years in, you just made a massive investment in this roster. Massive. All right. You trade a lot of assets to get to where you are right now. They can obviously do some around the work stuff to improve the bench. Still needs to be improved. Still think it needs a little bit more. You obviously need defense on this team. And that's the other construction. Like, how are you going to figure out the defense? Is Mitch going to be their starting center for next year? Because that's what they did out in Minnesota. They put Cat next to Rudy. Like, is that what you're going to do next year? How do you improve having defense while also maintaining offense? That's the other thing. Because when you put that bench unit out there, it's a lot of defense, not a lot of offense, not a lot of necessarily guys who can knock down threes outside of McBride and Shaman.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So these are questions they're all going to have. And is Thibs the guy that's going to lead what is, I consider, an offensively heavy team? I've always been the thought of like Thibs needs his guys, like, and that's like defense first, offense comes second. And so unless you're going to do that and give him a guy that deserves his guys, I think that you got to go in a direction where you're going to maximize the roster that you have if you want to be a fully bought in, offensively gifted team. Because you can't just say we're going to do, here's a set, here's one action. All right, guys, that didn't work. Everyone go get cooking. Go do what you do. I think that's very tough. I think it's very tough to ask for.
Point blank period.
All right, man. Let's get to some more.
Yeah, I get to. I was just gonna say the number one thing that you said that I don't think the chat's gonna like, but I completely agree with you and I stand with you on is as far as changes, not looking for the big fish changes. It's just small little moves that need to be complete, like the small little glue to complete this team. So I completely agree with you on that. But you know, everybody's gonna be wishing for Giannis. Just wanted to put that out there. I'm with you on that.
I just don't see massive I don't see like this roster for year one just made it to the ECF with all the flaws. With all the flaws.
But that's what I'm saying.
Like
that's what I'm saying.
With the starting lineup, that was a net negative. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like no one, they're gonna look at that. It's like, wow, we did that with this roster in year one. What does year two potentially look like? Could we change? Could there be a better offensive philosophy? All this. And remember, CP already said it on the show. You know, that he said Thibs was on thin ice.
He said reluctant too.
That
hurt him.
Look, and CP is one of the biggest Thibs defenders out there. And he said Thibs was on thin ice. Not because he necessarily wants to, but that's what he's heard. And he even said a lot of the stuff that we're saying is what they're seeing. And I think that's an honest conversation the front office needs to have. Look, it's not easy as just always running it back and seeing what's going to happen, man. You got to have some difficult conversations. All right, let's get to another caller, man. Let's get to Kino. Does it? Kino, what's going on?
You got me?
Yes, sir. We got you. What's happening?
All right, so I'm not going to crash out like my man Will from LI did a couple days ago. but we borderline. Well, we borderline there. Pretty much like everybody said, man. I'm gonna start with Thibs. He's taking us as far as he can take us. Like that is just it. Like this is what year 4 where we had home court advantage and the loss in the playoffs. At some point, we got to realize like this. Like, thank you for getting us here, but Mark Jackson, Steve Kerr situation needs to happen. I don't know if that's Mike Malone. That's a conversation for another time. I'm trying to stick to the game, but nonetheless, Thibs is taking us as far as he can possibly take us. So thank you for your service, Thibs. But this is where I leave you. Do I think that's going to happen? No, because then he just signed an extension before the season started.
Mm-hmm.
So we locked in, unfortunately. But yeah, wow. All right. So on to the game. Josh Hart is like a missile with no coordinates. He's just literally out there. I have no idea what this man is doing.
That is the greatest analogy I've ever heard.
It's literally how he is. And what I don't understand is like Thibs says the game tells you what to do. I don't know why he watches him and doesn't make any changes. And then I believe it was in the third quarter with that second unit. I saw, or maybe it was the early fourth, whenever it was, I saw OG check back in, and I'm thinking he's coming in for Hart to kind of give it a little bit of spacing, but he takes out McBride. And I'm like, yo, Josh Hart, number one, can't shoot, and number two, doesn't even look to shoot. Why? What do we keep him in the game for at this point? We need spacing, we need shooting, we need to get back in this game. And if we're being honest, his defense is very mid. If we're being honest, he's lost. We want to call it all his knee, whatever the case is, his defense is mid at best. So what are we taking McBride out for? It makes no sense. JB, listen, I ride with Cap. All right. 5 turnovers in elimination game, you got to be better. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, I'm gonna ride or die with him. 5 turnovers in elimination game, you got to be better. Bridges, he earned those 5 picks back, but I swear in this series he gave a couple of them back because I don't understand what this man is doing. It's going to be a long off season. Overall, I'm happy that we made it to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 25 years. But the narrative shifted when we got home court advantage when we beat Boston, because there's absolutely no reason we should have lost in 6. No reason we should have lost in 6 to this Indiana Pacers team. I don't care about the run-in. I don't care about the pace. I don't care about none of that. This team that we have is better than the team we had last year, and we should have won.
There you
That's
go.
all I got.
Shout out to Kino, man. Kino, appreciate the call. Appreciate the check-in. Look, and that's the funny thing, man. Expectations change as season unfolds, right? I think if you told everyone the ECF was, we met up with Boston, we lost in Boston, it's like, that was a good season. We made it to the ECF, we did what we had to do. All right, man. We made it to the ECF and we played the Indiana Pacers. It was a 3 versus the 4 seed. That was a very close matchup. Very close.
Because
what was that?
Because we made it close.
I'm giving the Pacers some credit, man. They're a talented team. Like, I thought this was
I'm giving the Pacers credit too. I'm just talking for the mere fact that we lost home court. We did it to ourselves. No, nothing. I'm not, look, peace and love. I ain't taking anything away from the Pacers because they beat our ass. I'm not going to cry about that. But we did it to ourselves by losing home court.
This is all true. And I think expectations changed as soon as we got to face them in the East Conference. It's like, all right, man, now we're playing a team that's, in our weight class. You know what I mean? We didn't have to punch above our weight class like we did against the Celtics. And if we did that, if we punched above our weight class, took out the Celtics, we should be able to fight with the Pacers and continue to show that we can punch. If we punched above our weight class, we should be able to take them out. I'm going to leave it at that. Let's get to Will from LI, man. Will, you crashed out the last show, man. You punched a mirror, Yeah, your hand, buddy. I hope you went to the hospital. I don't know if you needed stitches or whatnot, man, but how are you feeling? You okay?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Listen, man, first off, I want to apologize for the last show. That's the last time I mixed more than 2 shots of tequila watching a team coached by Tom Thibodeau, because obviously I can't handle it mentally and everything. Yeah, no, I'm doing good. I got 6 stitches, went to the hospital that night, but you know what? I thought I could have been like a blood sacrifice or something. I don't know. I was hoping that it could have been used for something, but yeah, listen, man, just from the beginning of the series, man, that game 1 was a bad omen. Even after that, you just saw Rick Carlisle just constantly make adjustments after adjustments. He went all the way to Thomas Bryant today, and he had sets where Thomas Bryant is getting in here shooting threes. Like I appreciate what Shamit and Laurent Wright did, but it's like I personally don't think it's fair to expect these players to gel with the team when they literally haven't played all year long. Okay, and they've been on the bench healthy, but Thibs was just playing Thibs basketball. I don't know who was the caller that's been saying it. He usually goes back and forth with CP, but he kept on saying, like, listen, we're winning right now, but this is Thibs basketball, and this is not going to be the way to win a championship. I can't remember his name, but him and CP always go at it. He was right, because like even the series only became a series and we started winning games when we went into the bench. Tom Thibodeau is the most stubbornest coach I have ever seen in the NBA. I appreciate him for everything he did, taking us from the dumpsters that we were at to where we are now, but it's the same thing when it came to the Warriors and Mark Jackson. Tom Thibodeau is not the coach to take us to the promised land. Today, I was at the watch party. I did no drinks. I was like, nope, I'm not going to do it to myself because I already know. I already know. I don't need these stitches to open up. I already got 6 of them. I got to come back in like 5 days to take them out. So I'm just like, hey, listen, man. I'm so thankful for this season. I'm so proud of this team. But all I'm going to say is Mike Malone, Tyler Jenkins, Mike Budenholzer. I don't know. Go find a coach that can make adjustments. Go find a coach that's going to pay more than 7 players. Go find a coach that doesn't have this love affair with Josh Hart, and let's put it together and see what we can do. Thank you guys, and you guys have a good one.
Appreciate Will from LI, man. And we may have to call Will from LI Will from the infirmary, man, since he's got stitches, man. I mean, please don't crash out anymore. All right.
Man.
Drink responsibly. We want you. We want you well, man. We want you alive and well. We want you healthy. All right.
Yeah.
Yeesh. But I'm glad to see he made the right decision tonight. CCK, he was like, I'm not gonna drink tonight. Not gonna punch any glass. Not gonna punch any mirrors. Not gonna be upset.
Yeah.
All right.
He learned
I
from
don't know if
his
you caught.
lesson.
I don't know if you caught that show, but
I'm so mad
he
I
got,
missed
the
it.
missus
Yeah,
with him, and she was on the line saying, "Yeah, he's bleeding right now."
no, man. Why did we make that into a clip or something, man? I missed that.
Yeah, man.
Oh, that's poor guy. Hey, Will, take care of yourself, bro.
Shout out
Yeah,
to
mistake
Will.
number one, mixing those drinks and watching the Tom Thibodeau team. I could have told you that, player. I could have told you that.
Do you want to be angry? Here, take a few shots and watch Thibs coach this 6-man lineup.
Right. Do you want to be angry and drunk? I wish we had a sponsor we could just transition that into. Brought to you by, but we ain't got one.
Oh, that'd be great, man. That'd be great. But hey, let's salute a sponsor while we're at it, man.
Let's do it.
All right. Let's salute one of our sponsors tonight, Morgan & Morgan, okay? And, well, maybe you needed Morgan & Morgan for against the Knicks, man, because, hey, they made you punch a mirror. But, hey, Morgan & Morgan, with over $25 billion recovered for over 500,000 clients, Morgan & Morgan has a proven track record of fighting to get you full and fair compensation. In Florida, a client received $12 million after the insurance company's best offer was just $350,000. In Pennsylvania, a client was awarded $26 million, a staggering 40 times the insurance company's original offer of $650,000. There's a reason why you choose Morgan & Morgan. It's because they are not willing, but ready, I should say, to fight for people like you and I. They have over 35 years of experience, and they have over 100 offices and more than 1,000 attorneys nationwide. When hiring Morgan & Morgan, it's like hiring an army that has your back. If you're injured by the negligence of another, you deserve to be paid. When you hire the wrong law firm, you may be beat before you start. All law firms are not the same. So, if you're ever injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. Their fee is free unless they win. For more information, go to forthepeople.com/KFTV or dial pound law. That's pound 529 from your cell phone. That's forthepeople.com/KFTV or pound law pound 529 from your cell. This is a paid advertisement. All right, man. Hey, look who's here. Look who's here. The captain. The captain himself has returned. Welcome, CP.
Yo, check one. Am I live? Check one, check two.
You are alive. You are alive. You are alive. You are here. You're in the place, as Cody Glock would say. What's going on, CP? Let's hear it.
Let it out.
Well, the long exhale is for a long season. Had to take some time and reflect on everything. You had the watch party. First and foremost, man, before we even get into the game, salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit the like button, hit the share button, subscribe to the channel. This is what we've been saying for the last 8 years. And, we say it because we appreciate everybody for tapping in, and we appreciate the love from this fan base, the love that this fan base has shown us both digitally and in person, digitally and personally. We appreciate it. The love has been growing over these years. And so as we conclude another season, we just want to say thank you to all the fans for their support. Everybody, top down. We have fans all over the world, fans reaching far and wide, all walks of life. And we definitely appreciate everybody for tapping into the show. We also want to appreciate our team here at KFTV, from the producers, everybody from behind the scenes, to the creators, to the hosts. This is one big family, and this is a big effort to just produce all the content, produce the watch parties, do everything, the merch, everything. So everybody that is part of Team KFTV, I'm not going to go into everybody individually, but to everybody that's part of Team KFTV, as well as the families, because we sacrifice a lot of time and a lot of ourselves to make this thing happen. We just want to say great season, and we want to say we appreciate you. I want to get that out there while we are in prime time of this show. So, look, this was a tough way to go out. Knicks lost 125-108, as you guys know. The keys to this game, it was, pretty much unanimous for everybody because we all saw it. Limit the mistakes, play defense. For me, it was going to be understanding that they're going to pressure the ball tremendously. You're going to get a much more intense pacer defense. Who else is coming along for the ride with Cap and JB? OG rose to the challenge. Wanted to see a lot more from other players, but let me first start with the mistakes, man. I mean, they played their worst game of the entire series tonight. 18 turnovers led to 34 Pacer points. This was the key. You could asterisk it coming into the series. This was the number one team in transition, where you are the weakest, where you are susceptible to being exposed. Daniel, let's go back to the main to the main box. This is the number one team in terms of transition. The Knicks don't pick up well in transition. They haven't done it since the preseason. And it's still their biggest weakness. And you had 18 turnovers tonight on a night where you had to be crisp. Just sloppy once again. And they killed them for it. You look at the free throw line, 65% from the charity stripe. Those things right there is why you got the result that you got tonight. I'm not saying that if they would have cleaned all that up that they would have won, but at least you keep it close. But this is the thing where we have to face the reality of what this team is. And the hope was that as they traverse through these playoffs, through the highs and the lows, the ups and the downs, that they would bring it together, right? Every game after every win, we're like, man, I hope this is it. I hope this is the time this team turns a corner in terms of a lot of the issues that they have. And then the next game, it becomes the same thing again. And so in the micro, the cardiac Nick thing, it's exciting. It's exhilarating, right? And when you're coming back from 20 points down, oh my God, we just did that to the Celtics. Hey, even when he's down to the Pistons by double digits and he shouldn't have been. Oh my God, I can't believe it. What a game. Look at the shot that Karl Anthony Towns hit. Look at the shot that Brunson hit. Man, that is excitement galore in the playoffs.
Sounds like an addict.
This is why we spill out onto 7th Avenue and have parades every night. Because what other fan base goes through such dramatic peaks and valleys? No other fan base went through that but us. So in the micro, it's like, oh man, this is great. But in the macro, the question is, are you a championship caliber team? And after a couple of these games, game 4, I'm like, doesn't appear that way. Because they can't shake these demons. The mistakes buried them. You're going, it could carry you past Detroit. And it, to some extent, it carried them past Boston. But the higher you go up, the cleaner you have to be. Give credit to the Pacers. Congratulations to the Pacers. They exercised their demons after being a bridesmaid last year, and they were terrific in this series. You hate to admit it because of the team and the players and their star players were fantastic. You hate to admit it, but they went out there and snatched this game tonight. But for the Knicks, you compounded these issues and it crushed them. On top of that, and again, I don't really want to get into offseason talk and all of that. We got a lot of time for that. But on top of that, the question will remain with this 5. Can you win with this 5 in crunch time situations. How does the Block Nest Monster have his most dominant game in the postseason? I've been telling y'all before the postseason even started. My guy needs to close this thing out for this team to be serious. And he's still not putting him in the game. Why? You have to play defense. You have to stop possessions.
Bro, they had a moment where it was like 8 points in like the fourth quarter. I'm like, oh, this is a good time to bring in Mitch. We got to single digits. We should.
How many times?
Dude, and then you just leave that 5 out there with Towns, who was struggling today.
How many
and then
times?
it gets up to 13, 15 points. Then he brings in Mitch.
How many times, bro, do I have to say that Mitchell Robinson has to finish the games? Either Towns has to be sacrificed or Josh Hart has to get up at the game.
That's not a hard decision.
It's one or the other, bro.
And honestly,
Or
sometimes you can
maybe
put both.
Honestly,
Honestly, you could even do both. You could put McBride in there. He got very
Exactly.
little minutes.
exactly. You've got to play defense, man. And against this Pacer team that did a tremendous job the entire series exposing the Knicks' biggest weaknesses. Look at the gap in points over turnovers.
Huge.
World class. It's not exactly that the Knicks' turnovers were like just tremendously high. Yes, it was fairly high, but this Pacer team is better than anybody than turning it into points. And whether you want to say that, oh, the Knicks, should have done that. What do you think OKC was going to do? What do you think the Thunder was going to do to you in that regard?
Sheesh.
Lessons learned. The Pacers learned their lesson last year, and they got back to it this year. Played a tremendous game. Their bench, you had Thomas Bryant. Did Thomas Bryant outscore the entire Knick bench? How much Thomas Bryant had to compare to the Knick bench tonight?
Oh, God, and I'm scared to look.
Thomas Bryant
My man had 11.
11. He had 11.
Yeah. He went 3 or 4
Thank
from
God Blanchard
downtown.
Shaman.
Lessons
Same spot,
learned.
100%.
Lessons learned. Yeah, like I said, the mistakes. Championship teams don't make them type of mistakes on a consistent basis. It becomes a point where you are who you are. And unfortunately for this team, they got by with the talents. Cap's talent is undeniable. Even though tonight was not his night. Give credit to the Pacers. Give credit to Nembhard. Their defensive pressure, 94 feet, every single possession was relentless. Give credit to them. The Knicks were able to skate by the entire playoffs that way with tremendous play from Cap and sometimes Cat. And every once in a while, you get an OG, you get a McCall, you get a Deuce game, and they'll bring it together. And sometimes their defense will bring it together. But it was just not consistent enough to be a series contender this year. And this is why they're going to Cancun after game 6. It just wasn't there, man. And not to single out certain players, but man, the Hart situation, man, frustrating, man.
Extremely. You're not singling it. You're not. I mean, look, man. Brunson was awful tonight too. He had 5 turnovers, man.
Cap was bad. Cap was bad. I mean, look, if you're holding Brunson at 19 points, you're going to win the game. Yeah. Most likely, you're going to win the game.
He went 8 of 18 from the field, 2 of 7 from downtown, 5 turnovers.
Yeah.
He had 7 assists, but 5 turnovers to go with that. That's tough, man. That's tough to watch. I thought the Pacers did a great job of doubling him, bringing as soon as he crossed half court, they made sure that he saw multiple bodies.
That's
had to make difficult decisions.
They were great. Yeah. They were great. The Hart indecisiveness,
crazy,
has really hurt this team. And again, I'm not, not trying to get into off-season talk, but he's the first person, and again, it's going to be hard for them to.
He's not going anywhere.
No, not going anywhere. But they've got to find an upgrade. They got to find an upgrade. His he's not going to age well with his game. His
Gotcha.
game's not going to age well.
Yeah.
Between the threes, and now even when he's playing his A game in transition, you scared of Obi?
Oh.
You scared of Obi now? You passing off transition buckets to pass it. Look, I like Delon Wright. I advocated for Delon for his defense. But if I'm Josh Hart, I'm not giving up my transition buckets to get an and one to pass it to Delon Wright in crunch time, man.
Yeah.
He only had one turnover tonight, but like overall, it just was not good.
I could tell CP's sick after seeing Obi have 18 points today.
Crushed him. He crushed him. But again, it's a question like, yo, do we have enough athletes? How do we add more athletes to this team? From the 2 to the 4-5 hybrid. This team's too slow, man.
We had some athletes.
Who are you talking?
We pointing at.
I mean, we got rid of Grimes. We traded Grimes. I felt like he could have been a guy that could have helped us.
Yeah, but the thing is, are you going to pay him? He's getting paid this year.
I know, but I'm just saying, like,
and Thibs wasn't using Grimes the way that Grimes was being. Like,
this goes back to the whole conversation we just had earlier in the show, CK.
Yeah, 100%.
Not to go into the off season just yet, but just
not time.
The frustrations with this team.
It's all over the place, man.
It is
it's everywhere. It goes from the players to the coach. It's there's a lot, and it's like it's weird because this was like you achieved the goal of what you wanted with getting this roster. You wanted to see that you can get past Boston or beat Boston, and then make it to the ECF. Like like I said at the beginning of the show, like if you told me that was going to happen beginning of the season, I'm like, that's probably a good mark for the season. Like we must have been doing some good work. But it's always like the details of like how is it all unfolding, and the inconsistency of this play where it's like, as you said, CP, I can't be going for a throw, man. I kind of have to know what I'm getting on a night to night basis.
Right.
That's what teams are, man. Like when you turn on the Pacers, you know what you're getting on a night to night basis. When you turn on OKC, you know what you're getting on a night to night basis. That's why they're both going to the NBA Finals.
That's why they're both there. That's why they're both there.
And
yeah, go ahead, finish.
The last thing I would say is that if it was like the Knicks had an identity, and the scores were like granted they were single digit scores, but it wasn't so up and down wavy how we got there. I'd be like, all right, man, these are very close teams. Came by a few points, a few mistakes here or there. We clean that up next year. We're right back in it. Yeah. I truly have no idea.
Oh my God! Did we get to this? Did we get to John Shin's $500 super chat?
He just did it, and I just saw it. He just did this as you joined.
Whoa. Yeah. CP, you was on your run, so we didn't want to interrupt. But yeah, shout out to John.
Salute to John Shin. Said no, thank you to KFTV, man. Shout out to John Shin, man. Salute 100%. I just saw the super chat. I was like, oh my God. I was just making sure that we were a little bit caught up. Shout out to John Shin. $500 super chat. That's major, but for John Shin, who's been a day one supporter of us, we definitely appreciate it. We got to pull up on John Shin's restaurant, man. John, you got to hit me with the address to the restaurant, man. I got to pull up, get some eats. Shout out to John Shin, man. It's people like that. I went around the watch party, and watch party was crazy. We had at least 500 people in there. It was crazy. The roof was blown off that joint at in the beginnings. But I made sure that at the end, obviously people left disappointed, but I tried to dap up as many people and say thank you as I could. Just appreciating the support for Team KFTV. Like I said, worldwide, digitally, personally. The support was insane. This team took us on a tremendous ride. And so we can walk and chew gum at the same time. Like, yeah, who's not disappointed with this outcome? Especially when you're knocking on a game 7 and a trip to the finals. And this is
the Pacers, bro.
Against the Pacers, right?
It's
So
against the Pacers.
yeah,
Again.
yeah. Again, and we
Again.
didn't do it again. We missed it again.
Bro, that's the more that's the more
Yeah.
infuriating part of this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? Why is it this team that's our boogeyman? Since
Yeah.
the 2000s, they have been our boogeyman.
They have. So, again, just walking and chewing gum at the same time, man. Yes, this team took us on a tremendous ride. And while I did think that, they played hard in this series, they didn't play smart, but this was their Achilles heel the entire year.
Yep.
And like I said, the Pacers did a tremendous job. Remember, every game that tough game that the Knicks lost this year, what was a common thread? Athleticism, their defense, transition defense. Those things always killed the Knicks in tough losses. And this Pacer team, did a great job of like gashing those weaknesses. What was the final tally of the points off turnovers? They lost by like 60
God.
something, 70 something.
Mm-hmm. Let me see.
Insane.
Like, you mean throughout the entire
The
series?
entire thing.
Sheesh.
They got gashed. They got gashed, man. So it's like, that is the making of a chip. Yo, the Patriots shot 54 from the field, 51 from 3, and gashed them for 34 points off of turnovers, bro. That is how you win. Huh?
16 of them in the first half alone.
In the first half.
Mm-hmm.
25-10 in fast break. Look at the different ways that they can slice you up. That's how you win. They were excellent across the board. Excellent across the board, bro. So sucks, man. But again, give them credit. They were great tonight. They earned their trip. They stamped it, and they got the job done, man.
So here's the total points. Let's see. I think I have. Let's see.
Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Hit that like button, hit the share button, subscribe to the channel. We got 4,000 people in here still, man.
You
Shout
ready?
out to paying the play-by-play as well. Go ahead, Al. I'm just
Here's
rolling.
the total. Here's the total points off of turnovers for the Knicks in this series. 140. Knicks were able to get
That's how much-
61.
Right.
Knicks were able to get 61. Pacers got 140.
Right. They gave up 80. They lost by 80 points off of turnovers.
That's crazy.
Crazy, bro. But
Pacers
again,
had 106 fast break points to the Knicks 48.
Yeah. But again, I think it just exposes the Knicks' weaknesses in terms of. I thought a lot of the turnovers were just off of like a lot of bad passes, though.
All
Right?
playoffs long though, too. That's just what we've been doing. Jump passes. And a lot of them are off of second guessing shots, too. Like instead of taking the gimmies right in front of the rim, right in the mid range, they're second guessing and then they're throwing it right into the coverage. Yeah, I 100% agree with that.
Cap, you throwing the ball, you see Halliburton is right there. You're trying to thread needles. Mitch, you getting the ball, you're trying to dribble handoff. The guy's right next to you. You're trying to dribble handoff. It was just. How about the fact that they're getting transition makes off of made baskets, bro? That's what's happening all year. So again, it's like, do we have enough foot speed? Do we have enough smarts? Where is the chemistry here? Fred Katz and Trilogy talked about there was multiple players-only meetings this year to try to get on the same page.
For the Knicks?
Wow. Yeah. Why
Really?
was there that
No.
constant disconnect with this team? Was Dante the biggest difference maker? You know, Ant-Man credited Dante. He said, "No, Dante always put me in the right positions defensively." Was Dante the biggest loss as a communicator defensively?
Shaq gonna love that.
Why were they so bad?
Never heard about this for the last couple of seasons. I'll tell you that.
Right.
The last two
Unsolved-
seasons,
unsolved
we didn't hear
mysteries.
this.
Why was it transition? I mean, look, part of it, like part of it is obviously with the town situation. Like when he either hits the deck or he's trying to make a move to the basket. When he's under the basket, the other team is just like out of there. But other
Out.
times, it's like the Knicks just the long threes. And Stan Van Gundy called him out. And that was the one good thing that he said throughout the entire series. They're not covering that transition. He's like, whoever's on the wing has to speed out. Yeah, it's just frustrating, man. I know we haven't gotten to the calls and stuff, but it's just
And it's not gonna change because that's been Cat his entire career.
right.
So
right.
it's about finding a way to be prepared for that. I don't know what you do, but that's not changing. That's
Yeah.
just who Carly Towns is.
That's gonna be the biggest thing, man. It's gonna be the biggest thing. Like, how do you improve the defense while he's out there? It didn't. Like, we saw some stretches with having Mitch out there help, but like, it's not the only solution, man.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
Because even still, like, even when he's going to be out there, I know Mitch can clean up a lot, but if you play a true 5-out team, they're just going to find Cat and put Brunson back in that switch, man. That's all they're going to look for.
All they need to do, yeah.
And the other thing, like with Cat too, is like it's either, as you said, the other thing is like stop complaining about fouls, man. Just stop.
Yeah.
He won't.
Just stop. Even after even when he missed the free throw today, Pacers got the rebound. They're out there and he's holding his form. I'm like, bro, wake up. Go. Get back. Why are you holding your form? You just saw that you missed. I get that you can't believe it. Get back on defense. Like the awareness, man. The awareness has got to get up.
Yeah.
In a game 6, a closeout. It's I don't know.
Stuff, man.
It's tough to break this game down because there's a lot of a lot of thoughts. I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts. It's like it's hard to break down because it's like I'm thinking ahead, like what the offseason is, trying to process now. It's just a lot, man.
Yeah. Did we read these $20 super chats yet, Al?
I haven't got to any of the super chats yet.
Yeah.
Let's go to the 20s and then get to the phones.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Let me pull that up. Bear with me for a second as trying to get the super chats loaded on my phone. Let's see what we got here. Go to the all right. See if she here right now. Oh, let's go up with Kane Marco first, though. He gave a $100 super chat. Shout out to Kane Marco. He says, I want to thank y'all for a great season where the Knicks have failed us and have given us poor effort on many a night. None of you ever have. You guys bring your A game 100% of the time. We made it farther than anyone expected. There's no reason to be depressed. Shout out to Kane Marco for that. We got the $50 super chat.
Yeah, Darrell. Yeah, go ahead.
Shout out to Darrell Austin Jr. for the $50 super chat. Thanks for the therapy sessions, KFTV team. I see Sam Cassell, Mark Jackson, or Johnny Bryant running this team next year. Can't believe the Middle America finals we're having.
Yeah. Straight Middle America finals.
Tumbleweed versus tumbleweed.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, again, we'll see what happens from a coaching standpoint. Mark Jackson definitely won't be on that list, and neither will Mike Malone. Yeah, we'll see. We shall see, man. That's all I could say. $20 super chat, Alan CK from Cool Vids, man. Franchise channel member says no off-season roster change will matter if Thibs is still the coach. Running the same offense, every play is predictable and leads to turnovers and injuries. There's no way that we have that much talent and barely break 100 points. Yeah, I don't know.
We got another $100 super chat too. Hold on one
Oh,
second.
did we miss
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
YouTube's not showing it to us. I think we gotta go in the chat.
I
Yeah.
had that problem too in the play-by-play.
Yeah.
There's some I was missing, and they kept telling me in the chat, "Yeah, you got to
Okay.
refresh
All
it."
right.
and
Well,
wait."
people that send the super chats, we appreciate it. We're getting to it as best as we can. So hang tight. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Get it.
So shout out to Amir Ajani with a $100 super chat. Says appreciate following the ups and downs of the season with y'all. Looking forward to your off-season coverage. We should take some pride in how far we came. Haven't been here in 20 years. At the end of the day, our best two players can be defensive liabilities. Shout
Yeah.
out to you, Amir. All right.
Yeah.
And
We
Tyler
definitely
G.
take pride. We definitely take pride, but
For
like
sure.
that'll be like Monday, Tuesday, next week.
Right.
Give me
right.
some time to heal, man.
Give me some time. Give me some time, man.
It means something, y'all.
We'll reflect on taking pride and all that next week.
Yeah, facts.
Right now, I'm tight, man.
Shout out to Tyler G with the $20 super chat. Thank you, Knicks
Tyler.
Fan TV. Great season. We'll get them next year. Let's go, Knicks.
Let's
All
go.
right.
Shout out to Tyler, man.
We got you got cool vids, man, right?
Yes, I did. Yep.
All right. And that's all the $20 super chats and greater. Armand Duda, shout out to you for being a franchise channel member of the $20 super chat. Thank you for another season of the best Knicks content there is, national or local. Can always look forward to KFTV content to get through the off-season blues. All the hard work you guys put in is greatly appreciated. Shout out to you.
Armand, appreciate it, man. Appreciate that. Salute to you. 100%. 100%.
All right. Those are all the $20 super chats I see. All right. You just want me to keep going through some of them all, or you want to get to calls now?
Let's get to the calls. Let's get to the calls.
All right, man. To the
Yeah,
calls.
bring in let's get John Shin in here. I'll drag him in. You
Yeah,
dragging him in?
I can't even find him. Where is he?
I got it. I'm dragging him in right here.
All right.
Wait, hang on. What happened? Hang on. Salute to everybody in the chat. I'm getting it cracking right now. There we go. All right, John, we in here, man. Live show. John, how you feeling on the Discord?
Hello?
Yes, sir. How you doing, man?
Hey guys, how are you?
Miserable. How you doing, man?
Yeah, it's hey guys, let's think about the positive. I'm fir- I'm very happy that we got to this point. Um, all of us, I think all of us on KFTV and all of us Knicks fans, if we lost to the Celtics and we lost to them in the right way, we would be in the same position. I know it sucks that we're right now in this position. Like I felt like we could have won, but it is what it is. I just want to thank all of you guys. That's what my super chat was for at the end of the day. Just thank you all you guys just crushing through. CK2K, Trat, just everybody, who am I missing? JD?
JD, yeah,
For sure. There's so many people that have entertained us and given us incredible hype throughout this
Yes.
entire process of just watching the Knicks. And I don't want to be a uh, family show. I don't want to say it, but
Mhm.
we didn't expect to be here, and now that we're disappointed that we haven't gone there, that's not what life should be. Like next year and the 2 years after is where um I think this team was built for. We need to be patient and we need to go. I don't want to say anything about Tibbs because I know his brother's watching. But no, just thank you guys. Like you guys were amazing and provided an incredible amount of entertainment and intuitiveness about Knicks basketball tomatoes to everybody that's a hater at the end of the day. Thank you.
Salute, man. Salute to John Shin. And we appreciate the support, man. We definitely appreciate the support. All right. It's a chat. All right. Where else are we going here, Al? LD on the Discord, go ahead.
Gentlemen, good evening.
How you doing?
I'm good. So I'm gonna start by saying I'm not in a hurry to fire Tom Thibodeau. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm gonna start with I believe the way the game ended with Obi Toppin on defense and offense, basically putting the dagger in us, is exactly how it needed to end for us to go into this offseason. The Boston Celtics, I believe the head of this era of Knicks basketball is Leon Rose. I've said it from the very beginning. I believe he's done a great job with his front office. He brought in a coach, and the coach has done a very good job over the span of 5 years, going to 4 playoffs and getting to the Eastern Conference Finals. He brought in the players. He brought in, Julius Randle when nobody will sign him, gave him the money. They said he was overpaid. He over-delivered. 3 NBA All-Stars. He brought in Jalen Brunson, possibly one of the greatest free agency signings in the history of the NBA. So a lot of good has happened, right? I say all that to say this, though. The Boston Celtics went from Brad Stevens, who was an amazing coach, but wasn't getting them over the hump. So they moved over to Ime Udoka.
Mhm.
Ime Udoka was working, but entanglements happened, so they have to move off of him and go to Joe Mazzulla.
Mhm.
Joe Mazzulla led them to the finals. At each step of the way, the Boston Celtics were consistently, no matter whether it was Kyrie Irving at the point or Isaiah Thomas, they consistently produced and eventually got over that hump. In saying that, I also want to state that players nor coaches win championships. Basketball academies do. So if you look at Greg Popovich, in his era, he ran the best basketball academy. Steve Kerr and the Warriors, they ran the best basketball academy of that era. And the reason why it's important to look at these things as academies is because it takes our focus off, especially under this new CBA, it takes our focus off our star players and actually looks at an entire roster of NBA qualified players and how you can maximize those rosters. With all that said, this is where Thibs' name comes in. If I believe Leon Rose is as good at his job as I believe he is, this offseason, he is the most important player in all of this because he has to sit back and consider, is this the best coach for this academy? Is this the best coach for the restrictions that the CBA now presents every team, knowing that you're never going to get the perfect roster, and in knowing that you have to use your roster as much as possible because that's just what this new CBA has done. So going into this offseason, I'm not too upset about this season because it is a success. Some folks are saying they didn't expect us to get this far. I did from the beginning of the season because I believe, again, we've had a roster to do the job, right? And again, Obi Toppin was the number 1 trash can dude when he was with us. And I'm not saying he's Michael Jordan now, but as you can see, there's a coach that knows how to get the best out of him, right? Same thing with Grimes. I'm not saying, again, this is not about Tom Thibodeau in a negative light. It's just people are finding out ways, especially under this new CBA, to get the best out of the talent that they have because you have to. In closing, the most important player this offseason is Leon Rose and his front office, and they have to figure out how do we run the best basketball academy going forward, because that will lead us to the championship. Nothing against Cat. He did what he could do. Sometimes he was up, sometimes he was down. It is what it is. Brunson, they all had their good and bad, but overall it was a successful season. It's not what we wanted. It's not how we wanted it to end. If we're being honest, we're very glad that we beat the Celtics because that was supposed to be our competition and we showed otherwise. But all in all, off season, Leon Rose, do your job.
Appreciate it, man. Rate that call in the chat. 1 being trash, 5 being facts. For those of you that are new here, we got 3,500 people in the chat. This is what we do. Rate everybody's call. 1 being trash, 5 being facts. How did you feel about LD's thoughts tonight? Chat is bleeding red right now, fellas. I don't know if it was the off-season talk. I don't know. I don't know where you went wrong tonight, LD, but call back anytime. Zach from LA. Zach, how you doing? We're going to go. We got a lot of people on this chat. We want to go rapid fire. Give us your strongest takes and pass the mic. Zach in LA. Go ahead.
Yo, CP, Alex, and CK, thank you for a wonderful season. Fast takes.
you.
This was a terribly played game, terribly coached game. Turnovers were our killer. You know, it was the Achilles heel tonight. Every turnover basically led to a point by them. You know, I think it was like 17 of 18 turnovers they scored on. He can't play that way. Yeah, just terribly played. And then, you know, having Mitch just sit basically the entire fourth quarter, Tibbs is just he's just a stubborn man. And he won't, you know, he won't take anything and make changes. I don't know, and I think that's going to be his Achilles heel.
Appreciate it,
But
man.
thank
Yeah,
you for the great season, guys.
appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. Yeah, the Mitch thing. I just don't get it. Several times in this season, in this series rather. Just like how do you not have your best defensive big man out there? I don't understand it, bro.
What are you saving him for? That's what I was telling Alex
What are
earlier.
you waiting for?
What are you saving him for? Because
How many
today was
minutes
it.
did you have tonight? How many minutes?
30.
Yeah, just under
Okay.
30. Yeah.
He got his 30. He could have played some more. Give me 5 more. Could have played 5 more. How do you not have your most dominant defender out there at some point? Somebody's got to sit. Can't play 6 players. Somebody's got to sit down. It's either Hart, it's McCall, it's Towns. One of them.
Hey,
You needed Towns' offense, so Hart, have a seat.
That's it. It's not a hard decision. Peace and
at
love.
least you know he could play 30 minutes. Very curious why it took until this game for him to play 30
Bro,
minutes.
Mitch was cooking him, man. Yo, and they brought out the Gotham lobs. I can't believe it, bro. How y'all let the elder statesman go out like this? But you know what, though, man? Dan, you can go full screen. I'll say this.
Say it.
Oh, yeah, I can do a triple block. One thing, I appreciated the fact that Mitch got his flowers on the national stage. He got his respect on the national stage. Now, to some of you, that might not mean anything because the Knicks still lost. I appreciate the fact that the Block Next Monster got his respect on the national stage in a big spot. He was that good tonight. From saving the Knicks extra possessions, blocking shots, Gotham lobs, 8 points, 9 rebounds, 5 on the offensive side, 2 steals, 2 blocks. Mitchell Robinson. Been telling y'all from the beginning when this guy got here, he's a difference maker, and he was a difference maker in this entire series, in the entire playoffs. The Block Nest Monster was that good. So I'm thankful that he made it through healthy. He ramped up from the midseason all the way up to here, this point, to where he was at his best for this team. You can't say Mitchie cheated the game ever. Right? Yo, he's knocking him out. He's too immature, blah, blah, blah. The truck. He does his own thing. He's a one-on-one. He does his own thing on the side. But when it's time to come to work, you can't say the Block Nest Monster don't come to work every single night. 110%. So shout out to Mitchie, man. Friend of the program. Big up Mitch. He came to play. He should have been playing more, and he should have finished this game somehow, some way. Period.
Several games. Not even just this game.
Several.
Games. Mm-hmm.
There were many moments where we could use his defense, his rebounding. I mean, the dude had 4 or 5 offensive rebounds in the first quarter.
All his rebounds were offensive. All of them
He was
in the first quarter.
Tear, man.
You had these fools. What series was it? Well, listen, man, you got a lot of accounts out there that's just, emotional rage betas that don't watch the game. They're very young and immature. Yeah, people, let this be the last time we see Mitchell Robinson in the Knicks uniform. Log off. Log off.
You know what's crazy? To even think that this front office was considering packaging Mitch with Randall to get Cat.
Yeah, very, very well. Man. Very well could have been out of there. And they would have been in trouble.
Man,
Wouldn't have made it this far. I'll tell you that. Would not have made it this far. I don't care how much y'all love Ragu.
Boy, do they love
The,
Ragu.
the interior defense would have been brutal. Even worse. Thank God he came back to save this team.
we got
who else we
another
got?
$100 super chat, CP.
Whoa, let's talk about it.
We got two, actually. We got two $100 super
Wow.
chats.
Wow.
Shout Chowdhury. He says this season
Rob.
has been. He says this season has been a ride, and we couldn't have gone through without KFTV. Let's try to heal from this and look forward to the offseason. Thank you, CP, Alex, CK, JD, and the whole team. P.S. If I see another cat drop coverage ever again, I will drop dead.
Oh my gosh.
And another $100 super chat we got is from the legend himself, the rhyme animal Chuck D. Throw a hashtag P in the chat, man. Shout out to Chuck. Pacers didn't forget getting their heads chopped off last year in the ECF. They will get smashed by OKC in the finals, and Carlisle won't forget. We inched better and improved. We got ECF Knicks won't forget. It's called the climb. NBA history speaks fact that is pain must be.
Shout out to the rhyme animal Chuck D, man. All year long. Supporting us all year long, man. Shout out to the rhyme animal Chuck D, man. All right, phones. Let's get to some more. Knicks Fix. How you doing?
CP, CK, Alex, what up, guys?
How you doing, bro?
Hey, man. I'm just give me 2 minutes and I'm gonna cook, man. Like, I've watched Thibs, just destroy the game that I love, man, on both ends of the court, bro. Like, same thing I yelled about in October. It's the same thing now. The dude can't design a play to be the press. Spain pick and roll work last game. We run it twice this game. No double drag screens, no horns, no floppy action, nothing. What's our identity? Okay,
That's not true, bro. They do run those things. They do run those things.
Okay, but on the offensive end, okay, what's our identity? We don't got an identity. OKC is defense. Indiana, they run. Our offense is this. If the play breaks down, we got one action. If the play break down, ISO Brunson. That's it. Cat been in drop coverage since October, bro. It wasn't working. He was directly responsible for 3 threes that we gave up in the second quarter. Then in the fourth quarter, Hallie was able to get around McHale. And Cat so far in drop coverage in the paint that he just lays up a floater. That makes me think, is he that dumb of a defensive player? It can't be, because in Minnesota, he was not playing drop like that. And I watched them play last year. It's the same. One thing I want to say, man, these are fireable offenses. Like game one, he played, we got a lead, we bring back in Brunson. We don't need that. We don't need offense. We need defense. Game two, go into the fourth, it's a tie game. You started with Cam. We go down 6, timeout, you bring back Cam. Game 4, we didn't play DeLon, we didn't play Shamet, the lineup that got you to win in game 3. It's like, bro, I've had enough, man. This ain't basketball we're watching. You got to have a defensive scheme. You got to have a modern coach that runs offensive sets with multiple actions, and you need to run zone to cover deficiencies that players lack. We don't have any of that. And I know we don't want to talk about like no off-season talk, but at the end of the day, Cat, Hart, and Thibs, you can't keep all of them. It's not gonna work. And this is the time, bro. This is the time. Yo, shout out to you guys, man, for giving us a platform. But like,
Of course,
bro, take it easy, fellas. Take it easy.
Appreciate you, man. Rate that call in the chat, man. Do you agree with Knicks Fix? 1 being trash, 5 being facts. What do you guys think, man? Rate that call in the chat. It's frustrating, man. It's frustrating. Tough way to go out, man. We appreciate all the support, though, man. Somebody said we're gonna run zone. Okay. Knicks Fix getting a ton of 5s, 5s and 4s.
Loving them.
Knicks Fix. I think, is he moving on to the second round, fellas? You guys are asking what is the second round? I don't know. I just made that up. I'm trying to
gonna
have
take
some
that
levity
serious.
here, man. I'm trying to have some levity here, man. I don't know.
CP trying to bring out Battle of the Fans.
Yeah.
Tonight.
Star Search, that's before y'all time. Star Search. I was a Star Search kid. Shout out to Ed McMahon. He's gone. He's an ancestor now. He's gone. Shout out to Ed McMahon.
Wait until CP starts referencing some Flip Wilson.
Oh, no, man. Come on, man. Let's shout out another sponsor, man. Let's shout out another sponsor, Bear Mattress, the #1 mattress firm of Knicks Fan TV. Shout out to our friends over at Bear Mattress for keeping us, keeping us comfortable out there, man. Because listen, when you're buying a bed, that's one of the biggest investments that you're going to make in your life. And the best thing about Bear Mattress, fellas, is that they're giving the people in Knicks Fan TV the biggest discount that you can get out there, and that is with code KFTV. Yeah, right now, you're looking at the site right now. Shout out to Daniel. It says 35% off site-wide, but if you use code KFTV at checkout, you get 40. What do I like about Bear Mattress, fellas? The fact is that they don't just try to sell you mattress. They pair you with the mattress that best fits your lifestyle. How do they do that? You fill out a survey. Very easy. Fill out a quick survey talking about your sleep preferences, your sleep lifestyle, and then they will pair you up with one of the many mattress options that they have. So when I filled mine out, they sent me the Elite Hybrid. That's for me. I need my sleep, man. Cardiac Nick affairs take a lot of energy out of me. I got to rest up. So then I tap out and I get my 8 hours on the Elite Hybrid. As you can see, 4,000 reviews, 4.5 stars. And trust me, it is mad comfortable. I love sleeping on it. I'm going to go crash out on it after tonight's brutal loss, and I'm probably going to sleep for 12 hours to heal my wounds because I'm wounded right now. So, but shout out to my guys at Bear Mattress once again. Industry rated, as you can see, from Forbes magazine to Good Housekeeping to Men's Health. Bear Mattress is it. So make sure you guys go to bearmattress.com. Use our code KFTV for 40% off site-wide. Can't beat it. All right, let them know that the good people at Knicks Fan TV sent you. Shout out to our friends once again at Bear Mattress. Okay. All right, Mark on the Discord. Mark, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Uh,
Just want to say, I mean, this game, that clip that I sent you basically just describes it perfectly, you know, of CK's reaction. It's just sloppy all around. Just you know, we killed ourselves, man. We really did. Like, we didn't play to our potential. We made a lot of mistakes. But I don't want to get too much into the game. I just want to shout the three of you out. I also want to shout the whole Knicks Fan TV just community and everyone out for the whole season, and you know, for just sticking with everybody, the play-by-plays by CK and everything that you do. I really appreciate it. And you know, we'll have time to digest everything. I don't want to get into details about the game right now. I just wanted to show you guys some love and, you know, appreciation for all that you do for us. And it's really been, you know, it's been a great season, and I'm looking forward to next season. I'm looking forward to just the steps that we can make. I mean, we have a good team, and I love the way our team fought. You know, we made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. We showed what New York can do, and moving forward, we're just going to get even better. And, you know, I don't want to get too much into the play-by-plays and everything else. I just wanted to show you guys some love. That's it. That's my call.
Appreciate it, man.
I got Mark, man. Shout out to Mark, man.
All right, shout out to Mark. Let's go to P Nice. Oh, let me get him in here. Hang on. Let me get him in here. Let's go to P Nice. P Nice, how you feeling?
Pretty good. How are you feeling? Just want to give a shout out to you, CP, Alex, CK. And I'm probably gonna get a lot of ones on this, but as Knicks fans, we have to have accountability, because players win championships, not coaches. And today we were just bad. I mean, real bad. I mean, we had 18 turnovers and 15 of them were from the starters. Come on now.
Yeah.
And again, I know we blame Thibs for a lot, but again, I mean, on Thursday when we played, you know, Thibs pushed all the right buttons. No, the reason why Thibs pushed the right buttons was because the players played. You know, again, you know, Josh Hart. Yeah, we have issues with Josh Hart. For some reason, with Josh Hart, he gets intimidated at times. You know, so yes, should he have been in the game in the fourth quarter? Definitely not. We should have definitely put Robinson in there. In fact, Robinson should have played 45 minutes if he could. You know, but again, we have to take accountability. Again, players win championships. You can't name me one coach. There's one, but you really can't name me one coach who basically they didn't have the players to win the championship. You know, you look at Nurse. Yeah, he had what's his name?
Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi?
Yeah, Kawhi Leonard. What did he do after that? He went to Philly, nothing. You know, so you have all these Tyronn Lue. You know, Tyronn Lue was a great coach with LeBron.
Yeah.
What has he done since then?
So what do you want the Knicks to do? Are you saying that the Knicks don't have the personnel? What do you want them to do?
No, we have the personnel, but the thing is, everybody wants to change a coach. To who? I don't know who. You know, who's
But
out there that we would change that's going
but
to
you
make us
just
get us to the next level.
didn't you just say the other teams have better players?
No,
Oh,
yeah, our teams do have better players. They had stars, correct. Right. But
okay.
when we have to look at the Knicks, we have to look at this is the first year that basically all our players played together.
Yeah.
You know, basically the first year. You know, this is Towns' first year. This was basically Bridges' first year. So we're gonna have to basically see what they do next year. Now with Towns, like I said, you're gonna have to be honest. We already know that basically Thibs didn't want Towns on the team. We were basically between a rock and a hard place. Because the minute we couldn't offer Hartenstein the money and he left, we were in a deficit at center because we already knew Robinson wasn't gonna play till at least January. And then we found out he didn't even play till April.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no way we were gonna have basically Randall at center. So we had to basically find somewhere. And basically that's where Cat come in. But we
Okay.
already know from history, Tibbs never liked he knew from a defensive standpoint. He never liked Cat. From offensively, yeah. If you ever watch all through the year at the press conference, Tibbs never said anything glowing about Cat, other than from an offensive standpoint. You know,
Okay.
but
All right.
like I said, so these are the things we run into. So next year, like I said, if we want to find somebody other than Tibbs, I'm okay for it. But who? Who is there gonna
Yeah.
be? I can't see us finding someone else that's gonna get us to the next level.
Okay. Appreciate the call, man. Call back anytime, man. Rate that call in the
All right,
chat,
thank
man.
you.
P nice 24 on the Discord. Rate that call in the chat, man. Al, did we do key stats of the night yet?
We have not gotten to key stats of the night yet.
Okay, let's get to the key stats of the night. Let's do it. Key stats of the night. Brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Daniel, if you could pick it up. Yeah, I mean, look at the Pacers stats, man. They shot 54% from the field. Knicks shot 47 from the field, 51% for the Pacers from three. And a lot of that was generated by their ball movement, their transition offense. And for the Knicks, they couldn't get the requisite ball movement and the right guys hitting shots. Like the Knicks shot 28% from three. But if you look at it from a volume standpoint, OB and JB took the most. Towns, took 4. Deuce, nothing. 0 for 1. Shamit, 4 for 7 from downtown. I don't know if a lot of those came in garbage time, but maybe he had a couple when the game was within bounds. But that's another thing with the Knicks, man. Like, couldn't find the accuracy. Mikal Bridges 1 for 2. Towns 0 for 4. And Cap 2 for 7. I thought that was another area that kind of hurt the Knicks, especially when the Pacers beat them. I mean, how much did they get outscored from 3 by? This is 41 to 27. So they lost a 3-point battle by 14 points. Free throws, another area. Knicks were poor. 84% from the Pacers, 65 for the Knicks. Can't win that way. Knicks did win the rebounding battle. Pacers smoked them on the assist 30 to 23. And then again, the biggest one tonight for me was the turnovers. Knicks gave up 18 turnovers, which led to 34 Pacer points. Pacers gave up 13 turnovers, which led to 13 Knick points. That's where the Pacers are strongest, and you just can't afford it. You can't afford it. Fast break battle, 25-10. Knicks got smoked from there again. Points in the paint, 54 for the Knicks, 50 for the Pacers. Largest lead for the night for the Knicks, 5 in the opening series, the opening quarter. But for the Pacers, 21, fellas. Now, what do you think there?
Biggest thing for me, man, is just the turnovers, and that would translate to the points off turnovers. I mean, it's the most glaring issue with this team. I mean, we just talked about it. The fact that this team gave up 34 points off of 18 turnovers. And by the way, Pacers gave up 13 turnovers, but the fact that the Knicks can only get a point per turnover, only got 13.
Right.
That's brutal, man. CP, we talked about this in the last post game. The Knicks needed to take advantage of all these Pacer turnovers. And the one that sticks out in my head is the Josh Hart, Karl-Anthony Towns both having opportunities to complete a bucket in transition, and neither one was capable of doing so in the same play. That just tells you everything you need to know about this series.
Right.
So I'm looking at turnovers, man. Turnovers were just absolutely brutal tonight.
And that's what I mean in terms of, like, it's one thing to say turnover, because when you look at even like turnover percentage, like the Knicks aren't necessarily bad, but it's how much you give up.
Yes.
He got scored by 21, and they gave up only 5 more turnovers than the Pacers, and they lost that by 21 points.
It could have been greater, CP. This Pacers missed wide open shots in the first quarter off of Nick turnovers or lack of getting out in transition defensively. And I thought, wow, are the Pacers going to be off like this for the rest of the night? Because then the Knicks really have a chance, because they weren't doing their best defensively to keep up with that.
Yeah. Yeah, man. CK, your thoughts?
Yeah. Is pass an option? No. My choice. Alex knows my answer. Free throws in an elimination game, man. 17-26 from the free throw line in an elimination game. I mean, in the fourth quarter alone, we saw Cat go 1 for 4 in the beginning of that fourth quarter, where those are free throws that can push you on that run. You know what I mean? Like, if you make at least 3 of the 4 of those free throws, those are the ones that can push you, in a different mindset. That we're still in this, we're making a run. We see the ball going through the hoop. To have 26 free throws, go 17 for 26 in this one, we got opportunities, and we just left them on the line in our last game of the season. Man, oh man, we gotta clean that up. 6 for 10 for Towns. You mentioned it earlier. 1 for 2 from Brunson, mind you. Mr. Foulbaiter himself, only 2 free throws. It's just I find that crazy. That's a huge stat.
Yeah, for sure, man. Key stats tonight brought to you guys by Underdog Fantasy. Use our code KFTV at UnderdogFantasy.com or the Underdog app, and to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash plus a free pick. That's a great way to get involved in Underdog Fantasy. And hey, you got the NBA Finals coming up. You got the NHL Stanley Cup Finals coming up. You got MLB baseball. So there are a number of sports that you can test the waters on when it comes to Underdog Fantasy. And there are a number of games you can play. Number one, you can play their daily draft. So just like a fantasy draft, whether it's fantasy football, fantasy baseball, fantasy basketball, fantasy hockey, you pick your players on a given day, whoever's playing that night, and you go head to head against your opponent, and you can wager from small amounts all the way to big pots, depending on what you want to get involved in. Then the other game you can play is the pick'em side, where you pick between 2 to 8 players, and you predict whether or not that player is going to go higher or lower on a given stat projection that Underdog has that night for that player, and you can win up to 300 times your money. So once again, pick them, win them, and watch them. Pick them, watch them, and win them, rather. Use our code KFTV at Underdog Fantasy or the Underdog app for up to $1,000 in bonus cash plus a free pick. CK, how'd you do tonight, man? Did you make picks tonight?
I was just gonna say, I wanted to say I have had a great playoffs with Underdog, but just like the Knicks, this has been my worst round. Like, I struck. I don't even think I had to go to the flex. I know Alex is gonna point and laugh at me. I had to go to the flex almost every choice this week.
Well, the flex is almost like insurance. right?
Yeah, I needed it because I was doing so bad. I needed a safe pick to at least get 3 or 4 because it was not a good round for me. And even when I chose the flex, this wasn't going for me. But throughout the playoffs, we've had some good runs, and the chat we in the play-by-play has been rooting for me and stuff. But man, oh man, I you could put me on the Knicks squad because I did not look good either. I did not look good. But shout out to Underdog, man. We had a lot of fun this playoffs for sure.
Salute to Underdog, man.
We had a lot of fun.
Yeah, we did. All right. We're gonna load up some people in the chat. Let's load up some people. I mean, on the Discord rather. To get some people in here. Rapid fire people. It's getting late as well. We want to make sure we get all our new people, and we want to get everybody in the Discord. We're gonna clear the Discord tonight. Make sure everybody gets their takes on the game. Deuce McBride post game comment said, overall felt like a lot of stuff throughout the year got exposed. Telling. I mean, hey, look, we can see it, right? We cover this team for all the entire season. We saw it, This Pacer team did a great job of exposing the Knicks. And again, I thought game 1 is critical. They lost it. And then on top of that, they lost game 2. So look, there's a reason why. There's a reason why the odds are against you in terms of coming back from 3-1, because the reality is that the better team is up at that point.
Yeah.
And it's like every game we're like, this is what we got to do. We got to do this. We got to do. Well, why weren't they doing that to start? You can't keep playing the come from behind game all the time, especially in the playoffs. Either you built for it or you're not. That's the problem with the Knicks, man. Sometimes they show you they're up there with the cream of the crop, and sometimes they show you that they don't belong. Couldn't find it. See what next year brings. But again, still a fun ride. Had a lot of fun with these guys. And they took the city on a wild ride that we won't forget, especially for the younger generation, the young whippersnappers who are out there scaling billboards and all of that. People, oh, man, we shouldn't be doing this. Nah, man, you live your life, man. You only live once. You go out there, you celebrate, do your thing. If that's what makes you happy in life, you go out there and do it. That's just what it is. You want to, go out there, you throw your mangoes, throw your fruits out there, whatever it is. Go ahead and throw it. I don't care.
The mangoes.
It is what
the mangoes. Not the mangoes.
Bro, you know what was so funny about that? Is like, as I'm out there on 7th Avenue and looking literally at the sky as fruits are flying all the way across, like, that was me as a young whippersnapper at the Yankee parades. You know what I mean? Yankee parade.
You know mangoes at Yankee parades? What's going on here?
No, they were apples. I distinctly remember this. Me and the homies, bro, and it's thousands of people out there. So it's like the toilet paper's flying around. Everybody's throwing toilet paper, fruits flying around. Yeah. Your homie picks up an apple. Toom. Where did it land? Who knows?
Who knows?
But that's the thing. When people are like, oh, man, what's everybody doing? Yo, listen, man, I remember those days as a youngster. Listen, you get the mob mentality, man. It happens. It is what it is. Nobody ended up too hurt. At least we didn't see that on the news. So that's it, man. Live your life, have some fun, whatever. And just watch out for the flying objects out there. That's it. You just see something, say something. That's what we say in New York, right? You see something, that's it.
You said they was throwing pineapples too. That's crazy,
bro. I legit seen a full pineapple getting tossed.
Brother, that is crazy.
Green ass mango, like.
How do you hold up? What?
Yeah,
man. You celebrate, you look up, you just see the pineapple going your way.
Yeah, man. My Yankee fans know, man. You used to go to the Yankee parades in the 90s. Everything was flying out there. Batteries, all type of shit was going on, flying. I'm telling you, man.
God.
Everything. So it happens, man. It's a generational thing, man. You try to
hold a pineapple to throw, man. That has got to be the most uncomfortable thing to throw.
Yeah, who tossed the pineapple?
I'm thinking about watching it come down. Like, that's what I'm worried about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just part of the process of life, man.
What CP didn't tell you is that he caught that pineapple, cut it,
You
And that for
said the
breakfast.
circle of life. You
That's part of,
saying
it's a
that's
part
the
of life, man. You know, it's the beauty of humanity. This is who we are as people, man.
right,
You know?
right.
It's a jungle out there, you know. Okay, all right, Anthony on the Discord. Anthony, let's go rapid fire. How you doing?
And if you've been hit by
What's
a
going
plane,
on, y'all?
How you doing, man?
I'm good, brother. I can't complain, man. Shout out to you guys, man. Just want to say we all appreciate you guys and covering our team and giving us a platform to voice our opinions, man. We appreciate y'all.
Appreciate it, man.
CK, appreciate your play by play, man. You was on the money, bro. All year,
appreciate
man.
you, bro.
Word
Appreciate
up.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it, man. CK was on the money. Absolutely, bro.
On the money, man. So yeah, I mean tonight, man, disappointing. I'm crushed. Uh, when you play a consistent improv offense and you don't really run consistent sets all year, you're liable to just get exposed. And tonight, offensively, we were just a mess. We were lost, lazy, just excuse me. I mean, Jalen Brunson, man, just he's just not good without the ball, bro. And he's just not, man. It's all night, bro. I mean, when he does get off the ball, they're searching for him, and they get. I mean, you saw it. I mean, Nimrod had him just all bottled up, and he couldn't really, you know, couldn't do anything, man. Cat was horrible tonight defensively
Yeah.
as well. Just, I mean, I don't know, man. It's like the effort just wasn't there. You don't deserve to win when
No. Mm-mm.
when you're just so lackadaisical with the ball. The turnovers killed us. You guys touched on that. But at the end of the day, I mean, nobody expected us to be in the ECF. Yeah, we beat Boston, but I think we're on the right trajectory moving forward. I think we just have to build out this roster, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're moving in the right direction. I really feel that in my heart. Um, we were in the dungeon for 2 decades, man. We're here now. So let's just keep building this roster out and hopefully we get to where we want to go, in the next, year or so. And I think we'll get there, and I said this years ago. I'm a diehard Giant fan. I don't know, and I would always say everybody would always get on Eli, and I would always say for some reason I had that gut feeling we will win a Super Bowl with Eli Manning. And last year I started saying that to my cousin and my uncle. I said, I guarantee you, bro, we will win a championship with Jalen Brunson. I guarantee you guys, bro, in this tenure with JB, we will win a championship. Let's go, Knicks. Let's just keep building. I love you guys, man. You guys be good, man. 100%,
Appreciate you,
bro.
bro. Appreciate you. Anthony
100%.
on the Discord, man. Appreciate the support all year.
Yeah.
As a franchise channel member, appreciate your takes on the Discord. Very invested in the team, and we appreciate it, man. Look, again, not to get into all season stuff. It's wide open. It's wide open. It's wide open in the East. I think Cap is going to come back stronger and hungrier. They will build on it. Every year is not guaranteed, which is why you want to take advantage where you have it, but you got to earn it. And the Pacers were the better team. That's the bottom line. They were the better team. Knicks have a lot of soul searching to do, and I don't like the whole everybody's aggregating Fred and Trilogy's article. They talking about the team was not happy with Cat's defense. No, that's nothing new. That's not a revelation. That's not nothing to oh man, look at all this. Like, we know Cat's defense was woeful. We know that. You guys saw that, right, on Twitter?
Yeah.
Like, it just is what it is. So, I don't like that, man. There's a lot of negative
It's that
news.
time of the year, though, CP. You know you're going to get all those, man. You know
Yeah.
that's coming.
Yeah. Bro, is that a WWF championship belt in your background, bro?
Yeah, man.
You got the World Heavyweight Championship
The World Heavyweight
in your
Championship.
background,
Yeah, man.
bro?
Yeah, man. I made a bet with my chat. If my guy won the championship at WrestleMania and went, I was going to get it.
What Jey Uso won?
Jey Uso, yeah. I got
You were there
the
for
thing. Yeah.
You were there for that night.
I was
Let's
there
go.
for it, bro.
Let's
We got the
go.
side plays and everything. Yeah, we here, bro.
Let's go.
I was ready to make that same bet for because they got the NBA joints. I was gonna make the same bet for the Knicks. I would get a Knicks one.
I'll tell you one thing. Shout out to everybody that's from my era. Because back in my day, them joints was not looking like that. They were they were styrofoam as hell. I don't know what kind of material, composite material there was. Them replica championship belts that you used to get, or that you used to dream of, like that you used to see in WWF magazine, they was not looking like that.
They were not the same.
It was probably like $30, and it was like that, like foam, the material, with a little plastic plate on it. I used to want that Intercontinental joint badly.
But it didn't look like that.
No, they
You
did
just
not
wanted to
look
rob
like
them.
that.
Yeah.
Right. My old heads in the chat, man. If you're 35 and up, you know it. Was it styrofoam? What was that material? Like the old replica belts. They don't look like they do now. Shout out to Triple H and them. They try to get that paper in the merch. Yeah.
Boy, I tell you, man. Whew.
Yeah.
Hurt.
Yeah, man. Them old ones is like crazy material. But anyway, we digress. Like I said, I'm looking for 11. Knicks lost. I'm disappointed. Okay.
I feel that.
Okay. A couple more. Let's go to STG Nick. STG, how you feel? Rapid fire. Let's go.
Hey, what's up, guys? What's up, guys? Thank you so much for everything this season. Really appreciate it. Been watching for a long time, but this year I've decided to finally call in, and it's been a great experience. And just want to touch on I think this game and this series as a whole, the Pacers really hit on all the team's weaknesses, really just from athleticism and just the lack of attention to detail. The turnovers killed us all series. And I really, after game one, that hurt us immensely. But then when they lost game two, down 0-2 was brutal. Just tough to bounce back from those mistakes. But even just to push at 6, but just turnovers, getting back in transition defense, which is bad. And these were little signs that we saw throughout the season. As us, we watched all games, and they came back to haunt us, especially in this series. And one more thing too, throughout the whole season, we stayed relatively healthy, and obviously that's a good thing. But I think it's also a good thing because there's no unanswered questions really. Last season we had so many injuries. People could be like, "What if? What if? What if?" But now there really is no what if. So the front office has the good sample size, so they have all the answers to their questions. So basically, there is no what ifs, and I think they have a good sample size, and they can go into this off season with kind of an idea of what they need to improve on. So that's just kind of one positive I took away from this is they know what they have. So hopefully they can improve on the weaknesses. And I'm looking forward to all the off-season content. And let's keep it going.
Appreciate you, SDG. And you're absolutely right. Yeah. This year, last year was the what if year. And this year they went in healthy with a better team and they made it farther. And, even whether or not Tatum was healthy or not, they still challenged Boston. They won those 2 games. They won the game that Tatum got hurt. They still had a chance to beat Boston, even if he stayed healthy. So, again, but the Indiana matchup really exposed their biggest weaknesses, and Indiana just did a great job taking it. Losing game 1 was brutal. I remember that game 1 when they lost in the Melo years. That took me out in that 54-win season.
Yeah.
I said, I can't believe we lost game 1 to these guys. And they lost the series in 6 with the Roy Hibbert game. They lost the series in 6 tonight with just everything. History repeating itself, man.
Same way.
Game 1 is important. It's important, man. Then they lose game 2. At least in the Melo years, they won game 2. So it's like, damn, bro. All right. Let's get back to it, man. OG on the line. OG, go ahead and rapid fire. Let's go. OG.
All right, man. I'm gonna be honest with y'all.
Yeah.
I'm actually a little bit more happy than
Okay.
last year's. Last year's season was terrible, but then in the same time, you can't blame the team's injuries. This year, we didn't get injuries. We're a healthy team. But guess what? I'm glad that we made it to the Eastern Conference Finals because it shows how much this team cares about winning. And that's all I'm gonna say because they're gonna try to win next year. They're gonna try to improve. Hopefully, Thibs go to the front office. I know you guys might not like this or probably might support this, but if Thibs goes to the front office, we need to find out who might be a good coach that can work alongside Thibs. And then eventually, maybe we can keep some players. It's gonna be hard, man. Like the off season is gonna be a little tricky. It's gonna scare us. I know we want some players in, but you know how the show business, you know how it goes, man. And that's all I gotta say. All right,
Appreciate
man.
the call. Appreciate the call, man. Rate that call in the chat. 1 being trash, 5 being fix. Yeah, that game won, fellas. I
want them to find a way to practices or I don't know what scrimmages. I need them to start practicing in front of a full Madison Square Garden next season. I know that needs to be a thing because it feels like we just do not capitalize at home when we have one of the best fan bases, if not the best fan base in the NBA. It's just crazy to me how we just did not capitalize on that at all in these playoffs, like at all. So if we gotta like I don't know, like sell seats for scrimmages and practices during the season so they can get used to playing in a loud garden throughout the year. So it's not a because I'm hearing people talking about, man, they did the bright lights getting to them. You know, they just not right now. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. It's got to be a part of it. And because we, like you said at the top, CP, like we was 3-6, like 3rd seed, 6th seed. Like in theory, like we got gifted that. We was expecting to be, you know, playing Cleveland or something like that and not have home court. We had home court and we blew the first 2 games. Now I don't want to hear about, you know, pressure. Nah, man. We got to be more prepared for that next year. Giving up these home games, like it just does not make sense to me.
Brutal.
We have one of the best atmospheres and we do not capitalize ever. I don't like that.
Brutal, man. AB Wright, go ahead and unmute your mic. Rapid fire. AB Wright. Do we have AB Wright going once? AB Wright going twice? Did we get to Tone on the Discord, Al? Al?
I was muted. No, we did not get to Tone.
All right, AB Wright. Let's see you next season. Tone, go ahead and unmute your mic. Tone. Tone, are you there? Okay, Tone going once. Tone going twice. All right, Tone. We'll see you tomorrow. Tone will call back tomorrow. He usually calls on regular. All right, let's get to Adobo. Adobo 9634. Are you there? Unmute your mic. Adobo 9634.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's your name? Where are you calling in from, man? New caller.
Actually, I'm not a new caller. I've been
Okay.
a bad caller for the past 10 years. But anyway, Alex from Bergen County. I was at MSG watching a different concert, to say, sir. Anyway.
Where were you at? You was watching a concert at MSG?
Yeah, man. I was watching Beanie, a Filipino concert.
Okay, cool.
In any case, I was just so disappointed. I was watching the concert. I was watching the game. It's just, I think, man, I hate to say this. It's just Thibs got to go, man.
Okay.
Everyone is saying, but who are you gonna change him? How about the guy in Miami, in Quinn?
Oh, you want Quinn? Okay, Quinn. Okay.
How about
Chris
Quinn?
Chris Quinn. Okay.
Yeah, he's young. He's, you know, he has like all sorts of ideas. Maybe he can get the bench going. Because, I mean, man, I'm so disappointed this season. I mean, we had so much going for us. But in any case, thank you guys. More power to you. And thank you for taking my call. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Call back anytime. All right, that was Adobo in the chat. I don't know where he thought he was calling. He said he was calling for 10 years. Didn't he say that? He was calling for 10 years now?
Yeah, he did.
We've only been existing for 8 years. I know everybody that called. I never heard from him in my life. But hey, maybe in a past life. You know what I
Maybe,
mean? He did
CP.
call in.
Maybe.
And where was his concert at? Was he at the theater? Did they have something? They probably had something going on at the theater. That's where he saw the guy, Beanie.
That's
Was
most likely what
anybody
he's
else at the
talking
Beanie
about.
concert? TM, were you at the Beanie concert tonight? Was anybody else at the Beanie concert? How was it going? I know Beanie Man got a concert going on right now. He's been doing a lot of media. He's been doing a lot
Does
of.
he? Oh, okay.
Was he at the
Really?
Beanie Man concert? He said Beanie from the Philippines. There's a different Beanie. Yeah, my man said he's been a KFTV caller for 10 years.
10 years, man.
10 years. That's
So-
impressive. He time traveled. That's what he did, CP.
Hell
Time
yeah.
travel.
Hell yeah. I was thinking about time travel the other day, man. I was. I was. Dead
We
ass.
could use time travel, man.
CP's like, how far in the future do I gotta go to see a Knicks?
Yeah, to see the Knicks win a
Right.
Yeah. Myra, go ahead. Rapid fire, Myra. Let's go.
Hello.
Yes, how you doing, man?
All right. I mean, I've been in the Discord for like 3 hours just talking to these dudes, and not
Yeah.
a single person has managed to talk me off the ledge. It's just so disappointing. I'm sick to my stomach.
Yeah.
It feels like the faults that have been plaguing us throughout the season are the same faults that are ending our season. Just stagnant offense, terrible pick and roll defense, and unfortunately, so many turnovers. And watching all 82 games and as many post-game reactions as I could, and being involved in the Discord and on Twitter, we've all been calling for change and adjustments, and all those alterations that we've been calling for did not show up until the Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, I can't wait to see your guys as trade machines and, the salary mismatches on Twitter and, fiending for Giannis and stuff. But I hope that we can all agree at this point that a lot of our failures this year just come down to coaching. I agree with a lot of people who are saying that. And my last thing. I'm a young lady. I'm 20 years old. I'm not old school, but
Wow.
yeah. I'm young. I'm one of the youngsters you guys are talking about. But for me, seeing the orange and blue shake hands and hug the team that beat us for the second year in a row after Tyrese Halliburton choked us out on our home court, copying the captain's celebration, wearing the all black, publicly humiliating us, it just doesn't sit right with me at all. Maybe you guys are a lot more sportsmanlike than I am, but all of that
Not your generation.
just
Hell no.
it just rubbed salt into the wound on top of everything. So I don't want to see any roommates podcast covering anything. Just regroup, come back. But as much as I am furious, I'm not with it. I'm not with it. I don't want to see Matt Hillman discussing and asking questions. That's it. Just get in the gym. That's it. That's
Well,
it.
I hate to break it to you, but they're gonna drop an announcement.
They're gonna do it.
About the
They're
block
gonna do
party
it.
coming up very
Oh
soon.
yeah. Mikal Bridges is gonna be front row, and not a single person is gonna talk.
I saw the paperwork, so get ready for the announcement. They doing a big block party in Central Park coming up soon. But hey,
I'll steer very clear.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see how many people's gonna come out for that. But yeah, they definitely doing another one like they did last time. But
calling a man out by full name.
Yeah, she's not a fan, man. She's not a fan. I did see that, with the handshaking. I guess I'm not I'm not mad at that anymore. Jersey swapping and all. They're friends. They're friends. They like each other. They're boys. Had Halliburton was doing the taunting. Hey, you want Halliburton? He got the upper hand on you. Game 1, he did the choke thing. He was up by 14. They choked. They
did.
I was there. It was a nightmare. I lived it. It was so bad. I said, "No, I got to go to game 2." Game 1, I can't believe what I just saw. Let me go to game 2 and make sure that they get right. And they went into game 2 and they lost again. I said, "Oh my God." I said, "Nah." I said,
You know what the issue was, CP? They were asking you to go out to Indiana to watch these games. That's what they said. Man.
Yeah.
That's what they're trying to tell you.
Yeah, I didn't make it on the road this year. You know, again, like the watch party energy is just, I just like being with the people, man. I just like being with the people, like Myra said, and all the callers and all the super chatters. It's just, even though we have a big contingent that goes out on the, I like being at home with the folks, man. I just like being at home with the people, man. And just being in one room together, just what rocking it. You know, we had a
CP,
good
man of the watch parties for 10 years now. 10
10
years, 10
years.
strong years. Yeah.
10 years.
Yeah, man.
Now, but real talk though, we're 2 more years from 10 years to 10
Yeah,
year
we are.
anniversary KFTV. So God willing, knock on wood, I'm here. You know, yeah, we'll be 100,000 deep, and 10 years into this, time flies, man.
Just get some
Time
medication, man, for all the cardiac nicks.
I will have a pacemaker and some heart medication. You know what I mean?
Get some
He said actual.
get some blood thinner. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, gonna need it. This year was one of those ones, man. But shout out to the team. Okay, let's keep it going. Cody Glock, close us out tonight. Close us out. Glockster, man.
Y'all
Close
can
us
hear
out.
me, man? Y'all can hear me?
Do we have Cody?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear Cody.
Yeah, why?
You see, it's you, CP.
This is
It's
happening again.
always been you. I'm not in the mood tonight, CP, man. It's crazy.
Can you hear him?
Yeah, we
2
can
days
hear.
ago, right?
But
2 days
why is he
ago, I
showing up as
called up.
muted on my side of the? Cody,
He's
go
not
ahead.
It's
happy.
ridiculous.
Okay,
First,
okay,
I gotta see Tyrese in the fourth quarter do his thing, and now CP for the second night in a row got me in shambles.
Mm.
Like it's not for shout out Manscaped, I don't care.
Yeah.
Shout out Car Guru, I don't care.
Yeah, shout out
Like
to Car Gurus holding us down. Go ahead.
Bro, this is the thing with me, right? So I'm gonna cut straight to the chase because it's the reason whenever I call this season, I haven't mentioned these names: Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges, I'm a stall him out because it's your first year. This is our freshman season together. We thought you was gonna be who you wasn't, but Josh Hart, you supposed to, when you came and we traded for you for Cam Reddish, I thought we was gonna get a dog. I thought we was gonna get a hustler. I thought we was gonna get somebody that got attitude. We lost to Tyrese Halliburton for the second year in a row, bro. Josh Hart, you turned over the ball not once, not twice. You let backdoor cuts on you not once, not twice. And the face you make after every mess up, it makes me not like it more. Like, what is Josh Hart doing? What has got? Is he injured? Everybody's injured. What's going on? Started the game, we corralled Tyrese Halliburton. We was making it tough for him. I had faith. I got this ritual every halftime. I go downstairs and I walk the dog so the time could pass. So when I go upstairs, I could just watch the game. I walked the dog. I came back upstairs. It was 68-54. That's when I knew it was over for us tonight. Like, great season. I get it. We went far. We did our thing. Great season. We went to the Eastern Conference Finals. I was going crazy. Like, New York was, the whole city was going crazy. I commend everybody. They came out. Yo, bro, Josh Hart, this is not the game we was expecting for you today, bro. I love what you did for us, bro, especially by the ending of that Boston series. But this series was the worst series I ever seen Josh Hart play in my life.
It was brutal.
All right, now I'm gonna get off of Josh Hart, right? Yo, let's call a spade, man. Let's call a spade. Let me tell you something about Mitchie, man.
Let's talk about
End of the season. Let me tell you something about Mitchie. He was going crazy to start the game. Offensive rebound everywhere. He's the one that had the attitude. He's the one that had the quick feet on defense. He was the one that had the discipline. Third, fourth quarter, I don't know when it was. Tyrese Halliburton hit us for 4 or 5 straight floaters. Put my Mitchie communist. Yo, you see that Mitchie communist? You gotta put respect on him. Like yo, Mitch, if they would have bought Mitch in and sat Cat, bring Cat in like last 3 minutes. He let up 5 drop coverage floaters. And it seemed like in a row. Like, what are we really doing, bro? Like, yo, I'm gonna get tomatoes. Josh, you expendable right now, bro. You expendable right now. You can't shoot. You expendable. You jump passing, leading to this team. If you think you're gonna one turnover against this team is a guaranteed bucket. If you think you're gonna jump pass against this team, yo, you're expendable. Mikhail, I'm sorry. I'm gonna get Matos. I know his freshman year is the first year, and we're not gonna talk about free agency right now. Expendable, Stone Cold movie. It's the Sylvester Stallone movie. Hold on. I'm not finished. Campaign, you know you out of here. But you know what makes it even sadder? We ain't used Precious not one bit tonight. He played great defense on Siakam. I thought we ain't used him one time. It's not to say he's expendable, right? He doesn't want to be here next year. He's not gonna be. He does not want to play for this coach. And the last expendability, the last Sylvester Stallone, Stone Cold, whatever you want to call it, Thibs. I'm sorry. I love Thibs. He had the greatest season. This year, he had the greatest season. I love Thibs. Coach of the year on the Knicks. Like, you're not gonna get Thibs. It's not gonna be easy to find Thibs. Mike Malone. It's not gonna easy to find. It's not gonna be easy to find Thibs. But Thibs, expendability. Yo, shout out Nikki Pipes, man. No. I don't care you making that face, Tibbs, because if you would have played if you would have played Tyler Kolick, if you would have played Combe Dadier, all at the beginning of the season, if you would have played DeLon Wright, and if you would have played all of them the beginning of the season, we would have had some reps. We would have, I'm sorry, Nikki Pipes, whatever. I'm gonna end it right here. It was such a bitter moment when he put the young kids out. We was getting all the turnovers throughout the game. He put the young kids out at the end of the game, and Tyler Kolick got like 3-4 assists. That hurt so bad to see, bro. Tibbs, you out, bro. Shout out Nikki Pipes, man. Shout out everybody. Shout out this season we had, bro. Shout out CK2K, bro. I feel your pain, bro. Like, it's not fair to CK2K to come out and have a game like that, knowing that our season's on the line, and I have to watch his reaction to us like that, bro. Yo, I'm out, man. I can't do it, bro. I'm about to take a shot, B.
Shout out to the boy Cody Glock, man. Shout out to the Glockster.
He got in an argument with the image, bro. Cody Glock is the greatest, bro. He saw the picture of Thibs and started fighting with the picture. Greatness. That was the greatest moment I've been a part of. That was so good. He told him, "Don't make that face."
What's up with the McBride 3, man?
Bro.
So they said travel? I thought it was an out of bounds, but
no, they said it was out of bounds.
He said
that's even worse.
And that boy Tony Brothers, man. I think I had a issue with him when Melo didn't like him. And I was a Melo stan. So if Melo don't like him, I didn't like him back then. What was he looking at? And here's what grinds my gears. And again, I don't want people in the chat. This wasn't on the refs. No, let's walk and chew gum at the same time. I'm watching this play that led to a 6-point swing. Yeah. If you're able to change a 3 to a 2 based on the fact that Mikal Bridges stepped on the line on a corner 3, You should be able to, and my guy's in the replay booth, and my guy's into Caucus. He's a KFTV guy. He chops up footage for court vision. They should go to him and say, check this play right here. Why can't that be changed? Why?
That's what I said. That's what I want to know. They do official reviews for less. I don't know. That's why I said the same thing.
Now, here's the thing. Like, you know, when see, I don't see what I'm guessing, what I'm thinking is, are they saying like he stepped out before he caught the ball and didn't establish the 2 feet first?
I don't think he stepped out at all.
I don't think he stepped out at all.
He never did. Yeah, you never did.
But is that the rule in the NBA, right? Isn't that like if you step out of bounds and come back in, you got to establish your 2 feet before you touch the ball? Isn't that a rule?
Right.
So that's the only thing I'm thinking when it comes to that is like the Tony brothers think he stepped out and that he touched the ball with 1 foot back and didn't establish himself back in. That's the only thing I'm thinking.
That's still a tough argument. I don't know.
But even still, like if you look at this thing, like Deuce is nowhere near close to even touching the out of bound line.
Exactly.
There's like a good amount of court that you see from his heel to the out of bounds line. And it's like, where did you see him go out of bounds?
Yeah. And here we go, $1,000, 85. Y'all lost by 15. This makes no difference. In the middle of a game, you don't know that, first and foremost. You don't know that. That was a momentum breaker right there when Obi hits the 3. And so let's learn to walk and chew gum at the same time. We're not blaming the entire game on the refs. Watch the game. We're not talking about a foul call. We're talking about a 3-point shot that went in, that they called out of bounds, and then the Pacers go out and get 3. If you're going to say a guy stepped on the line and it goes from a 3, that should have been reviewed as well. Simple. Jordan on the Discord. Go ahead and unmute your mic. He's a member. We're gonna go. Jordan, guy.
Oh, you can hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. How you doing?
Yeah, huge fans. I've been watching you guys for like 6, 7 years now. I never called in. I actually I met you in 2019 at the draft when they picked RJ. I was like, yo, KnicksFanTV. And I was like, all right. I was asking you who you think they're gonna pick. But yeah, man, like I don't know what it was this season, but like as a fan, this has been the most frustrating season like ever. Like even worse than last year after all these injuries. It's because like after we did the Bridges trade, it's like this is it. Like we're all in. And then when we did the Town trade, it's like yep, like contenders, we're all in. And then like I remember watching the opening day game against the Celtics. I think Bridges went like 0 for 6, and I'm like, wow, like I feel like I felt like I got catfished because I'll be honest, I didn't know what Bridges was. I'm like, bro, this guy's like a 3-and-D. He's been on lockdown. Like he's in all his shots, and this guy literally like he was not as advertised, and like it's just so frustrating to me because that was the move, like all in like waiting all those years, like saving those picks, and we used it on this role player that's not even like even when he's in the game, it feels like he's not doing anything. It's just like the whole playoffs, besides, like, I'll give him the Celtics series, but, like, the whole playoffs is just, like, he's so underwhelming, and it's just so frustrating to watch because, like, he's the move. And then Cat, it's like, I've never seen a big so skilled offensively, but is just such a minus on defense that it just doesn't even matter. It's like, dude, what, like, is it intensity? Like, why can't you play defense? And then, like, he's doing these stupid fouls, and it's like, it's so frustrating, bro. It's because, like, the next couple years, it's like, what are you gonna do with these guys? Or how are you gonna hide their weaknesses and use them? Because, like, what Bridges, like, to be honest with you, I would say he's the average defender. Like, he has not know how to, like, navigate screens. Every screen, he just like gets destroyed. I remember we played the Thunder in like in the middle of the year, and I remember I'm watching the game. It's like OG's on Shea. OG's playing great defense. Bridges comes in the game, and like it's a tie game, and then Bridges just gets destroyed by Shea, and like the game's over. I'm like, dude, like we have no one. And then like we could go to Thibs, and like be honest with you, like I think this is who Thibs is. This is like the max we're gonna get from him. He's 67 years old. He's not gonna change the way he plays. Like he's not gonna. He's his brain like in the game adjustments. It's just not there, dude.
Yeah.
And it's so bad because I remember like going all the way back to what like 2020 or 2021 when we're in the playoffs and he's like Alfred played and starting the whole season. And it's like game 5. Oh, let's start D Rose now because all the fans made me. And it's like, bro, you didn't see this the whole season? And like, what? We could compare that to this season. He's playing DeLon Wright and Landry Shamet, who have the best minutes in the playoffs, but they barely played during the regular season when we could have used them. Instead, he had Cameron Payne chucking up threes, and it's like, oh my god. But like, it's just even a bigger problem to me now because you have these guys, you got Towns, you got Bridges, and like, I don't see a world where we're winning a championship with Bridges and Towns being like our two guys we're leaning on. Because I don't know how you're gonna hide Towns. The Towns Mitch thing, it's just gonna be such a weird dynamic to me. And then Bridges, it's like, dude, like what are you? Are you a 3-and-D? Like every time he gets the ball, it's like either a midi or he's doing some like weird three he's not gonna
Yeah.
make.
No,
It's
that's
just
true, man. That's true. It is. I appreciate the call. I mean, it's something that they gotta figure out in the offseason, man. Is whether or not these guys can coexist. The Towns thing at the 5, like I said, is never gonna work. They're never gonna win anything with Towns at the 5. So it's either running it with Mitch, or or not. They have no chance of winning it with Towns at the 5. So they're gonna have to go to a 2 big lineup. Hart going to the bench. If it's Mitch, if it's a younger or a different 5, we'll see. Like I said, all season talk we'll save for the off season. But yeah, one thing we know for sure is that Towns at the 5 is not going to work. It is not going to work. Okay. If you guys are new in the chat, man, leave us a hashtag. You guys out. Al, let's get to the remaining super chats. Let's split these up and get up out of here.
All right. Let's start off with shout out to Jimmy Duval. Let's start with shout out you for becoming a franchise channel member. Appreciate it. We got Adrian Morales with the $5 super chat. If Cat comes into next season out of shape, we know he isn't serious enough to win. Needs to focus on his defense. Thibs needs to learn new tricks. I didn't think Towns came into this season out of shape. I don't think he's ever really been out of shape.
He is, man. It has nothing to do
Yeah,
with
it's just he's just a slow-footed player, man. That's really what it is.
Sure.
Great offensively, a liability defensively. 2K Anthony, shout out to you for the $10 super chat and for being a franchise channel member. Shamet not playing more minutes is baffling. Only thing that sucks is the players are there, but stubborn coaching loses every time. Weird season, great playoffs. Run it back next year. We got Desmond Jordan with the $10 super chat. Appreciate the franchise channel membership. I'm just upset right now, and I apologize later, but Cat's IQ is that of a kitten, which is why his name will be the Big Meow until he shows different. His offense doesn't make up for his shortcomings.
Shout out Arthur Sims. Arthur Sims, hashtag new. Go ahead, Al.
Shout out to First Lady of Sports. $5 super chat. Thank you for being a franchise channel member. You can't win a closeout game when your best 2 players had a horrible game. This is true. Shout out to Jason Bellamy for the $5 super chat. It will be a travesty if the front office believes that Thibs is the coach that will get this team over the hump, and they need to rethink Towns. Shout out to JB for the $2 super chat. Shout out to It's Kyle Allen for the $10 super chat. We good enough to get here. Now we need a new coach and update our bench. We needed young, scrappy defenders. Thibs put no players in position to get easy shots. P.S. Thibs runs no plays. We got Omega Rex 73. Shout out to you for the $10 super chat. It is the third playoffs where Cap struggled with the trap by taller defenders. If it keeps going unaddressed and resulting in turnovers, it only gets exposed in the playoffs. We got to address it. Ace Reyes, shout out to you for the $10 super chat. Not a Thibs hater or defender, but it felt like he was coaching for his job this playoffs and would have failed against Pistons and Celtics if not for being bailed out. He failed this series for real, for real. We got Glockwork 718. Shout out to you for the $10 super chat and being a franchise channel member. Cat is terrible on defense, and Hart was not good again. Major changes are needed on this team. Hart and Cat need to go. We all knew this trade wasn't it when it happened. Let's just cut our losses. Shout out to 27 for the $2 super chat. Shout out to Sharon for the $2 super chat. We got Soup 5142. Shout out to you for being a franchise channel member. And a $2 super chat. You guys seem a little emotional and negative. No, we're just analyzing and we're upset. Being critical. Tugboat Taylor with the $5 super chat and being a franchise channel member. Hart and Thibs got to be family showing. Unacceptable roster rotation. Shamit's greater than Hart in this series. I thought Shamit could have used a little bit more, especially going 4 for 7 tonight. Man was on one. Jack City, shout out to you for the $2 super chat for being a franchise channel member. Run it back. Boston ran it back for like a decade. KJ for the shout out to you for the $5 super chat and for being a franchise channel member. Why are Boston fans rejoicing as if they are the ones who beat us? Paul Pierce and whoever else is talking tough as a Pacer after a Pacers win. Those guys saying those guys are weirdos. Shout out to Soup 5142 again for the $5 super chat.
Okay.
Knicks weren't getting much offense as is. Don't think they had the luxury to pull Towns off the floor, even if he was struggling. Man, you could have pulled him off the floor, man.
Mm-hmm.
You could have pulled him off the floor. Put Deuce in, keep Mitch at the 5. You get some shooting, you get some offense. Shout out to Amir for becoming a franchise channel member. Shout out to Santana for the $2 super chat and for being a franchise channel member. It was on the captain and Thibs tonight. Yeah, neither one were great tonight. Shout out to Omega Rex for the $10 super chat tonight. 34 Pacer points off a 18 kick Knicks turnover. In a game lost by 17 points. We got outcoached, which led to being outplayed. Let the offseason begin with building championship habits. Let's go Knicks. Shout out to Santana for the $5 super chat and being a franchise channel member. JDCK, Alex, and CP, the entire KFTV network staff. Thanks for the content this season. Appreciate it. Want to keep going, CP, or you're good? Or...
Yeah, where are we? What was the last one?
Shout out to Good Tea Nice House for the Canadian $2 super chat. Appreciate it. We're up to Soup 5142. I thought Thibs.
I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Call the timeouts were fantastic this series. All right. Shout out Lord Steven Stone, $5 super chats. His turnovers, defense, missed shots. Free throws killed us. Pacers once again stopped us. Unfortunately, it was a good run, but disappointing loss. Yeah, absolutely. $10 super chat. BX Dev. Only person to show up tonight was OG. Everyone else was a shell of themselves. Next year, we need to get our young guys involved in the rotation, and we need speed. We play too dang slow. Shout out to Gatsby, $5 super chat. We have offensive players with a defensive coach. This is why we've been 2 steps forward, 2 steps back all season. Whose fault is that? Listen, man, it's not easy. It's not easy. The way the Knicks are building this thing, it's not easy. But let's see how they do it. Hey, Pacers are a team of trades and acquisitions as well, and they're getting the job done. They do have a lot of homegrowns, but they're getting the job done right now. Omega Rex 73 $10 super chat says we knew Carlisle would make adjustments, though it was predictable that they would speed up the game and address our top scorers to survive. We were not out coached. We were out coached, leading to being outplayed. I mean, Is that really an adjustment though? Like for the Pacers, is just they know that their key to win is playing fast. They did that in Game 4 after coming out slow in Game 3. They did that in Game 6 after coming out slow in Game 5. It's not easy to do every single game. It's human nature, right? Like you got to exert a lot of force, a lot of effort. That's hard to do consistently every night. So I don't think it was adjustments at this point in the series. Like it is what it is. You got to go out there and execute. But they did. They turned up their speed. They turned up their pace, and that hurts the Knicks. But what hurt the Knicks tonight was their mistakes and their turnovers, man. That's what hurt them. But I also think that the Pacers defense, as I thought, was going to put a lot of pressure on the Knicks to produce from guys that are not named Brunson and Towns, and mainly Bridges and mainly Deuce, who was going to come out of that, and neither one had a great game. Neither one had a great game tonight. So Bridges 15. What I say, like 18, 20 I was looking for from him. I mean, he was decent. He was efficient, but Brunson only had 19. He needed a lot more. And Deuce had 2.
In 11 minutes.
Yo, Deuce had 2 points. Yeah, Landry had 12, but Deuce is your guy.
Yep.
So, frustrating. Shout out to Soup again, $10 super chat says, thank you for a fantastic year. Tuned in to every post-game show. Went to a couple watch parties, no doubt. Shout out to Lee, man. Shout out to shit. I mean, Clinton Hall was on fire tonight. It was crazy. We definitely wrapped up watch party season with a bang. We had a crazy ton of people. Shout out to Slate. And yeah, we had a watch party season was a great run. Interesting run this playoff season for sure. Okay. Where did I leave off at? Shout out to Soup. Says Brunson just said Thibs has his full belief and support. Walked out the room annoyed. Yeah, I mean, what else do you think Cap is going to say? I mean, sure, yeah, he's close. They are close, and Cap does appreciate Thibs, and that's they have a relationship. But I mean, the question is ridiculous. Like, no player's ever going to throw his coach on the bus, especially in a press conference. So the question was stupid on its surface. I don't know who asked that question about Thibs and security to Brunson. What do you expect him to say? That's just a stupid question. People, they do ask that stuff, though. So that's a stupid question. Omega Rex. No. Yeah, Omega Rex. I got that. Sorry. LD. Coach extensions mean nothing. Mike Brown, Sack Phoenix. Yeah, no, it doesn't mean. Paulie AI, welcome to the franchise channel members. First Lady of Sports, $5 super chat says for the Villanova 3 to work, we need to get their coach Jay Wright. Why? What does Jay Wright do? First Lady.
Coach.
Why?
Coach. That's why he did. That's what he did.
Why? Because he's a name. His name is Jay Wright. What has Jay Wright done in the NBA? Yeah. Jeff C says Slate is bad luck for a watch party. Have Knicks won. What are you talking about? They won game 3. What are you talking about? LOL though. Vic from the Sty, $10 super chat. The Thibs is our ceiling. He stumbles upon something that works and either can't recognize it or refuses to build on it. Sure, you can blame the players, but they're victim of him as much as we are as a fan. Well, the players are going out there. Thibs is not out there passing the ball when it shouldn't be passed. Thibs is not the reason for Josh Hart's indecisive. We can blame Thibs for some things, but the players, Thibs is not out there shooting 68% from the free throw line. He's not shooting the free throws, sir. So, to say that he's Geppetto out there, well, let's not get too carried away. Players stunk it up. Shout out to J-Z. Welcome to the franchise channel memberships. J32K, $5 super chat franchise channel member. It's only 1 year, and we're here now. Positives are glaring as well. Sure. Yeah, we could definitely look at it that way. Definitely. Sure. Omega Rex met CP down in Miami after the game. We chopped it up. Me and wifey thanked him, and then we thank him now. Salute to y'all, man. Salute to Omega Rex 73. Yeah, shout out to all the cities we touched this year. Miami, Atlanta for sure. Next year, God willing, we'll hit more. We'll get back out to LA. I got to get back to 33 taps. 33 taps looked like it was crazy this year. So we got to get back out there, man. Yeah, CK, we got to get back out there to 33 taps. We're gonna tap in with the Texas Triangle. Austin is hitting us up to say we got to come back. We got to get to H-Town, San Antonio. So Texas and LA will definitely be part of it. Orlando. We got to get to Orlando next year. But, yeah, shout out to KFTV Nation worldwide, man. You know, a couple years ago, we did San Fran and Cleveland and all that. So, yeah, we'll get to it.
Notice that CP has not noticed any place that's cold.
No. No, sir. No, sir. But hey, if the Denver's on the docket on a good day of the week, if it's on the weekend, we can get Denver next weekend. I'm telling you, man, I got to get that snowmobiling off my bucket list. Got to get that snowmobiling. I got to hit the mountains. Got to see what the altitude is about. I got to hit Denver, man. It just seems like my type of.
Hey, you know, CP, you could do some, when you go out to New England, you go to Boston, you go to New Hampshire, Maine, they can do snowmobiling out there too.
Nah. You got it. That's your neck of that's your territory. I ain't trying to step on your toes, man. You represent for us out there when you go to the Celtic games. You know what I'm saying? That's all you, man. That's all you.
I'm just saying, people have been asking for us, man. People have been asking for everybody out there.
I do got to get out to Boston, man. For some reason, like I used to be out there a lot. I did. When my sister was going to school out there, I used to be out there. Yeah. So yeah, we'll tap in with you, man. We'll come up. You always come to New York. We'll come up there.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
We'll come check you one of these days, man.
10 years later.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Here you go. Okay. Leon Johnson, $5 super chat. Rebuild. Trade all of them. Fire Thibs. Okay. Shout out to Leon Johnson. He says they're already slowing on athletic, going to get old. All right, so Leon wants to go tank, and he wants some tanking seasons, and thinking that he'll just hurry up and get back. So Leon is ready to put another 20 years into the gutter and try to get back to prominence. Okay, good luck, Leon. You better probably check in with the Magic or something. Maybe they'll get you closer to where you want to be.
Right, just go across the bridge.
Just
Brooklyn
go. Yeah,
Nets got 5 new picks.
There you go. There you go. Oh, who's getting Cooper Flag? The Mavericks? Yeah, let's trade Leon to the Mavericks, man. See what we can get back. Armand, we got Armand out already, right? Yeah. Shout out to Liggy. Welcome to Franchise Channel members. Did we get Gotcha Open $20 super chat? Big ups to KFTV crew.
No, they did that one.
We didn't? Big Gotcha Open. Big ups to KFTV crew for the content all season long. Hoping Leon Rose can man up and make the coaching change now to the off season. Now to the on season. As Shoutout says. Okay. Somebody says keep same energy with Thibs next season, KFTV. Okay. Dave, I'm not sure what that means, but all right. So to you. Shout out to ML Production, $5 super chat. Doug Collins to Phil Jackson, Chip. Mark Jackson, Steve Kerr, Chip. Dwayne Casey, Nick Nurse, Chip. Thibs hasn't made a finals as a head coach. It's time. Okay, so who's you got? Put your name in there. Artman, formerly known as Steve, $5 super chat. No trade cat talk. Minus cat, we don't make it out the first round. McCall, Hart, and Thibs have to be looked at. Great season. GM, game 1 will haunt us forever. Sure.
Without McHale, we didn't make it past the second round.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Does McCall, that kid? Whatever. Christopher Blake, we appreciate you, man. Somebody said, please come to Boston. OG to God. You ever meet up with OG to God, Al?
I met up with OG the God.
You did?
I said, no, I haven't.
Okay, all right. So that's the guy, man. He says, come to Boston, so we'll pull up. Joseph Osorto says, great season, guys. Unfortunately, it didn't work finish how we wanted. Me personally, Cap plays way too soft on defense. Thank you, KFTV family, for a great year. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you. Shout out to King Wish 134. Thank you, CP, CK, JD, Alex, Nick's Chicken, everyone. behind the scenes for your services to the fan. We appreciate that. We appreciate it. So it's a lot of work that everybody put in, and we appreciate it. Crucero Andante, $5 super chat says, I can't wait for Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns 5-second playoff ball sharing highlight. Yeah, that's something to look at. Haiku Homie, $10 super chat. Roses are red, skies ain't so blue. Free throws are free, but the Knicks paid a fee. Thank you, fellas, for a great season. Thank you, Haiku Homie, man. He says, like my Jamaican grandfather would say when his chest was hurting, he said, "My art hurt." Shout out to the Haiku Homie, man. Shout out to the Haiku. Didn't even know he had Jamaican ancestry. Even better when he drops the bars, man. Shout out to the Haiku.
That's so good.
Man, art hurt. Shout out to the Haiku Homie, man. K Mark, appreciate you as well. Shout out Jack Webb. First Lady of Sports says Thibs not leaving because Brunson believes in him, and the problem is Rose, Brunson, Thibs are too connected personally. That's a problem because of loyalty. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. All I'll say is Leon don't sign the checks. That's all I'll say. So, we'll see, man. We shall see. $20 super chat. There's something wrong with this team, Jay-Z. Did we get that? Each player is talented, but together they make each other worse. It's the reason we didn't fall in love with this team like last year. Need to trade Cat and Hart while the stock is high.
A lot of trading Cat and Hart in this super chats.
I dig it. Shout out to Keys, B, D-Roy, Bramwell, Jamaicans in the chat, man. If you're Jamaican in the chat, throw the flag in the chat. Shout out to Hoodies. You already know he's Tips. He says, this hurts being positive. It's tough. We lost to an inferior team back-to-back seasons with us having two best players. Finals opportunity fumbled. Well, we can't argue that they're the inferior team when they crushed us in points over turnovers. Took game one, beat us in game two. Listen, man, we just got to keep it a bean. They were better than us. Period. And they executed like a team that was going to the championship. Can't say we're a championship team and be stumbling and bumbling every game, down by 20 points and hoping to come back. But they were doing that the entire playoffs, man. Shout out to Rondell Hartley. $5 super chat. I'm about to be on some real-ish paid in full vibes. All right, be safe out there, man. I don't know if we got enough super chats to get you out of central booking, so just be safe out there. Michael Nixon. Salute to Michael, man. Welcome to the franchise channel membership. Oh, Jonathan Katz, fellas. 1,600 yen super chat to salute from the suburbs of Tokyo. Thanks for the awesome work, KFTV. Next season, if the Knicks cut the CK2K what the hell's in half, we're good. What the helly? Shout out to Jonathan Katz, man. Yeah, that's much. It's growing on me. That what the hell he growing on me?
Yeah.
When I first heard it, I said, what is this racket?
Well, you can't let it go. He's a Indiana guy, so you gotta stop
Is he?
listening to him. Yeah, he
Oh
was
my
at
God.
what game were you on? He was at game 4. They had him on the Jumbotron and everything.
And we're here bumping this thing in New York like it's the hottest thing. Smoke. This is what I hate, man. This is what I
CP's
hate.
tight now.
Because none of our New York DJs know anything about the Knicks, so they're just whatever smoking, whatever the industry, whatever the record labels are paying them to play these songs. So they're bumping this guy's tracks. Is he from Indiana the whole time?
They had him on the
Song's
Jumbotron.
trash. Song is absolutely trash.
That's why I say, yeah.
Soon reach $10 super chat. Franchise channel member says, shout out to KFTV and us fans. I have so much to say, but wifey said I don't have time to call in. LOL. Tell CP it's not too early to talk about the off season. Our season's officially over. I mean, my man, we did 3 hours on just post game. Let's give it some time. Chop it up. We'll debrief, get some rest, and get back to it, man. All season, we got a long time to go. Crucero Dante, $5 super chat to all the. And now, this is BS. These people are not motivated to say your super chat. What? This guy sent us $5 super chat to say that we're not motivated to say your super chat. All right.
I don't know where the
All right.
respect is.
Hey,
You know?
hey. God bless. God bless. I don't even have anything to say. God bless. Okay.
They said he's from New Orleans, but he was representing Indiana Game 4.
Okay.
He was
Oh,
there.
yeah. All right. So get him out of there, man. Get him.
Yeah, no.
Get him out of there. He's got to know he's the hottest market in music. Is playing his music. He's got to represent us.
Okay.
Yeah. What else? He says, why does Thibs keep saying Deuce didn't play due to size? Paces big at the Paces big ago. Oh, that's Soup. Said, why didn't Deuce play? Yeah, that's Thibs. That's just Thibs, man. So, yeah. Ghost Dog LT. Did we get that $20 super chat? Proud to beat most expectations, even if the fan base got greedy. Let's win the whole damn thing next year. Okay. All right. Salute, man. Salute. Who else we got here? Who else here? Arun Matani, $5 super chat says, we've been banned at transition defense all year. Made baskets because so many buckets resulted someone hitting the deck, yelling at refs for and one and call. Yeah, that is true. Shout out to Gurley 76C, $5 super chat says, if we return to Eastern Conference Finals next year, no Knicks street signs, huge jinx. Game 1 loss and emotionally did us in. Shout out to OG and Mitch. Yeah, they were the best tonight. OG and Mitch were the best tonight. Let's go Knicks. Shout out to KJ. Oh my God, where am I? Shout out to KJ, $5 super chat. Says, I be feeling like us Knicks fans have been taking more offense to Hallie's antics more than the actual players, and that pisses me off more than anything. Yeah, look, man, they're friends. What can you say? They are friends. Shout out to some from Brooklyn, $25 super chat says, thank you, CP, Alex, CK, and JD. The Knicks made the EF, and that's huge accomplishment. Let's run it back next year. Salute to KFTV. Salute to some from Brooklyn. I've been holding this down for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Wanda Walker,
There you
$10
go.
$10 super chat says, I still love my Knicks forever. My Knicks did good. They came a long way. Go Knicks. Thank you, guys. See you next season. Shout out to Third Eye Sag, $10 super chat says, I've been on and off watching my Knicks because stress gets me badly. It has been a real long time since I watched. I recently started watching again, and that stress came right back. We got some more to go. Go back to this weirdo that dropped the super chat. Talk about these people don't read my super chat. We weren't fast enough in reading this guy's super chat, so he got pissed off
and super chatted.
Does this guy realize that we just got like 50 super chats tonight, and that we got a show to run? Crucero, he must be from the TikTok generation because we're not moving at lightning speed. Does this guy realize this is not a super chat show?
What?
Like, come on, man. People that know, we appreciate all the donation. We appreciate it. It helps the machine run and helps the machine grow. But if we were going to have a show where we're just sitting there reading super chats constantly, we wouldn't have a post-game show. We mix it in. And yes, the people that spend the biggest donations, like a John Shin just dropped $500, we're going to stop everything that we're talking about and we're going to address that. The $100 super chats, those things, yeah, we're going to stop it at $50 super chats for sure. It's gonna go in a certain order, and we're gonna mix them in. He must be a young whippersnapper because they're changing directions. Give us a minute, man. Just have patience. Well, what we do at the end of the show is we get to everybody's super chat.
It's not quick enough.
Lord. All right, where did I leave off on the super chats, man? Where we at here?
Did you get to Terry Cal too?
Okay.
Shout out to Terry Cal too for being a franchise channel member with a $5 super chat. Too much frustration right now. Loss hasn't hurt like this in years. Thanks for everything this season, KFTV crew. Shout out to Risen for the $10 super chat. Thibs is not the guy. Wish him success elsewhere. That's all I'm going to say. And shout out to Risen for being a franchise channel member. Kenya S, shout out to you for the $5 super chat. This team was built to beat the Celtics. Check. We got some work to do in the offseason. The East is still open. I agree with that. The East is still open. Shout out to Chuck D. Throw a hashtag P in the chat for the $5 super chat. New York basketball was played on May 31st. Think about it. 2017's went to Cancun before us. Happy June 1st. It's called advancing to the NBA Final Four. Yeah, man. Nice to be there. Shout out to Knicks or Nowhere for the $5 super chat. We need a coach that holds players accountable and plays them to their strengths, not to fit his lines on a piece of paper. Blown opportunity this year. Shout out to Soup 5142 for the $10 super chat. Thank you for the fantastic year. Tuned into every post game show. Went to a couple watch parties. Oh, you got that one. Shout out to Soup again. I'm open to a coach change. Oh, any thoughts on who?
I'm talking in the whole season.
I'm not even sure. Sean Kearns, shout out to you for the $5 super chat. I didn't want to say it, but the team needs a different voice. Coaching habits will not change from Alfred Payton, Alec Burks, and so on. Hashtag no excuses. Blade Pin.
Money, you threw a shot at Big Money, man. Big Money ain't been here. He's chilling. Why you had to throw a shot at Big Money, man?
Why are you upset about Big Money, man? Why are you upset about your guy, Alec Burks?
Come on, man.
He's having a good time in Miami, man. He's on break right now. He's having a good time. Shout out to Blade Pinderhughes for the $10 super chat. Love and respect, gang. Dev had to pop out for a drink after the tough loss. We need an offensive coordinator. Man, I still believe in Tiz, but he needs help. Shout out to the Chief Modern Operator, franchise channel member for 28 months. Shout out to TM, man. Thank you for everyone for tuning in for another season of Post Game Live. Salute to the host, chat, and KFTV staff. Shout out to you, TM.
$100 super chat from William Burton, franchise channel member. Hats off to the greatest show for the fans by the fans. William, we appreciate you, man. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate the love. And
Shout out to
all our franchise channel members for sure.
Shout out to ML Productions for the $5 super chat. Doug Collins to Phil Jackson, greater than Chip. Mark Jackson to Steve Kerr. Oh, I see what you're saying. Doug Collins to Phil Jackson, translated to a chip. Mark Jackson to Steve Kerr, translated to a chip. Dwayne Casey to Nick Nurse, translated to a chip. Thibs hasn't made a finals as a head coach. It's time. You got the son from Brooklyn. You got Wander Walker. You got Third Eye Sag. Here we go. Shout out to Soup 5142. Did Alex watch The Last Dragon yet?
That is. We're gonna build up Alex a summer reading list. He's gonna have a summer movie and show list from the 90s. From the 90s. And all suggestions are welcome in the chat, in the comment section, in the community section. We were gonna make sure that Alex up to speed by the time next season starts. So you're gonna have a whole list out. A whole list.
How far behind are you?
Oh man, he's missed a lot of things, man. He's missed a lot of things, bro. I forgot what the last thing I got you on. I got to go back, TM. We got to go back in the archives.
Gotta get that
There was
list
a couple
on.
things
Oh,
I got
man.
him on this year, man. A couple things. Last Dragon definitely being one. Crimson Tide. That was it. That was just 2 days ago. Crimson Tide on your list. Denzel. Gene Hackman. Rest in peace.
Oh, R.I.P. Yeah, that's right.
I have the
Yeah,
con.
That's right.
It was a
Yeah, it's on
battle
the
on the
to-do list now.
submarine, man. It was a battle. They were in the middle of a nuclear holocaust, as Denzel would put it.
Yep.
All right, just a little levity. Just a little levity. Okay, back to it. Back to you, Al. Back to you. It's your show, man. Go ahead.
It's not like Sean Connery on a submarine. It's Red October.
Oh no, it wasn't on for Red October. It wasn't on for October. Rest in peace to Connery. He was another legend. Connery was a legend for sure.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah,
Shout out to you got Hoodies Vintage, Swap Coaches, and Who Wins. Shout out to Hoodies Vintage for the $5 super chat for being a franchise channel member. Swap Coaches and Who Wins. Pull it now or after we heal. LOL. Game 1 was franchise altering. Fireball. Dolan, please step in. Our time is limited.
We still go to other super chats. This is the super chat show now. Another 30 minutes. How about
You
where
called for
where
it.
are we?
We're at Del Will. Shout out to Del
Del
Will
Will.
for being a franchise channel member and the $10 super chat. Mitch stayed looked great, but only played 3 months. His health is a question mark to me. We also need an enforcer. Our toughest guy is 6'1". Knicks fan 90. Shout out to you for the $2 super chat. Shout out to Mad Me for becoming for being a franchise channel member for 3 months. Whoever complained about the Kings not reading the super chats fast enough. Oh, hey.
Is that a young whippersnapper acronym? I never. This is new to me. SYBAU. Salute, man. He's a salute, man. Got our salute.
Got our backs. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Shout out to Billy R23 for the $10 super chat. Shout out to the KFTV crew and everyone else who has been rocking here, all 82 and beyond. There is no channel on YouTube like this. It was a great season. Sucks it fell short, but this is year 1.
That is true when you put it in perspective. But closer you get, the harder it is to get over it, man. But shout out to Billy R. Billy R, we appreciate you, man.
Shout out to Sibo RD for the $5 super chat. 8 vet minutes or Rooks, 2 stars that bled points sharing the court and finished 2 games from the finals. Full season plus glue pieces will do wonders. Keep Thibs.
Okay. we end this.
There's one.
There is one. Salute to you guys, man. Once again, salute to the KFTV family, Knicks Nation worldwide, everywhere, all over the world, man. From New York to California to people stationed all over the world. We appreciate you guys. Appreciate the support. Appreciate everybody that came through to the watch parties. Appreciate the whole KFTV team that put this whole production together, from digitally, personally, behind the scenes, everything, newsletters, everything, man. Tyler Gamba, Daniel, TM, everybody, all the mods. We appreciate that. And this isn't the season finale because we keep it going. Yes, we will talk about all season. Yes, we will get to Summer League. And yes, we will get back to training camp and start this whole journey all over again.
Summer League.
Yeah, trust and believe. Yeah, exactly. And bro, that's next month.
That's coming up.
Oh, that's right. It is now June 1st.
Summer League is next month. And yes, we will get to our draft series on the NBA Report, and we'll do a little draft on KnicksFanTV. So the NBA Report will be rocking through the finals and everything in between. So yeah, this ain't the end for KFTV. It's just the end of the Knicks and their 24-25 campaign. But this was a great ride that this team took us on, albeit a disappointing ride. But that's that. So to the replay gang, remember that the show's available in audio podcast formats. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. We out of here, man. The final post-game show for the 24-25 campaign. We appreciate you guys. We'll catch up in the offseason, man. Peace. All right. I don't know if Daniel fell asleep, so I ended the stream.